Feel the ground shaking underneath, trying to take me alive. Get ready for the fallout. Can't stop me now. I got no rival. I'ma find my way through the blood and pain game of survival. Any time or place, watch 'em run away. I got none. I'll be standing on my own, never gonna take my throne. I got no rival. Watch 'em run away. I got no, I got no rival. No rival. No rival. Tell me now, what you gonna do? We can do this face to face. The reckoning is coming real soon. Doesn't matter what you say. Try to tell you this is my moment. Can't take mine 'cause I own it. Don't you know that I'm locked and unloaded? You're out of focus. Get ready for the fallout. Can't stop me now. I got no rival. I'ma find my way through the blood and pain game of survival. Any time or place, watch 'em run away. I got no. I'll be standing on my own, never gonna take my phone. I got no rival. Watch 'em run away. I got no, I got no rival. No rival. I got no rival. No rival.
The year is 1991. Birds and people are living together in seemingly perfect harmony, until one day a young man catches fire. This is Phoenix.
You've been knocked down and got up again. In a corner, you're surrounded, no defenders. Whoa, you've hid your fury and kept it in. But it's time now, you ignite and turn to embers. Like a phoenix, you burst in a fire burn. A thirst and desire, you transform right up in a flash. You spread your wings to rise from the ashes. Phoenix, you burst in a fire burn. A thirst and desire, you spread your wings to rise from the ashes. They let you down, but you get up. They let you drown, but you don't stop. You show your Phoenix
Get ready for verse 2, Electric Boogaloo.
You see the truth behind the veil, and you know that they're just looking for attention. Oh, you don't let the ruthlessness prevail. Oh, it's time now, light your fires for ascension. Like a phoenix, you burst in a fire burn. A thirst and desire,
horizon pulls me closer, a whisper in the wind. The map is blank before me. Where do I begin? No fear of what's uncertain. The unknown feels like home. With every step I'm finding a place I've never known. Let's go where no one has ever been. A world unseen beneath our skin. Through endless skies, we'll break the chain. Uncharted lands will claim them all. Rise like tides and let it fall. Just endless sea. Come drift with me. Come drift with me. Uncharted lands will claim them all. Rise like tides and let it fall. Just endless seas. Come drift with me. Come drift with me. Oh, come drift with me. Oh, and come drift with me. Oh, and come drift with me. Just like the street lights lit this town, like a fire in a blaze, gotta burn it down. Can't be afraid to leave this out. We got this far, don't know how. I see danger in your eyes. They know we'll burn down the night. Coming just like the sunrise. You know that we're gonna light it up. Tonight, we're gonna light it up, babe. Tonight, we're gonna light it up. Just like the sunrise, we're gonna light it up. Now. Just like a spark that's breaking out. Can't make a stop, can't turn back now. We know that there's no room for doubt. No, we can't turn back now. I see danger in your eyes. They know we'll burn down the night. Coming just like the sunrise. You know that we're gonna light it up.
All right. What's up, SimFans? How is it going this Wednesday night? It is so good to see you. Symphonic with you, friends. It's so good to see you. Silver Killer, Nate Cessna Simulator. Let's give it up, friends. Good to see you guys, along with all the rest of you. Shahab's in the house. Shahab, how's it going? Let's give it up to Shahab and Evo Eagle Sky. CP65 in the house, friends, along with our good friend Maple Leaf. Good to see you, Maple. And friends, Silver Mother Killer is in the house, friends. Let's give it up to Silver. Silver, how's it going, buddy? Good to see you making it. I know things are busy right now for you. So many of you. Myself. Pilot Rick, what's up, brother? What's up, Pilot Rick? Good to see you, man. Bats in the house, friends. Let's give it up to Bats. Got quite a few of my moderators in here tonight. It's good to see you guys. CP65. I already called you, didn't I? CP, it's good to see you. CFF 121. What's up? Let's give it up to CFF 121 in chat, friends. Good to see you, man. The real CFF, as he says. Or as I say. Good to see you, CFF. Who else is in here? We've also got Captain Red Sky's in the house, friends. Captain Red Sky. Let's give it up to Captain Red Sky. Says, hello, SimFans. Glad to be on board with y'all. We're glad to have you here with us, Captain Red Sky. Thanks for joining us tonight, friends. TJ Turner. What's up, TJ? What's up, man? Good to see you as well, TJ Turner. And again, Nate's Cessna Simulator and Daniel Stewart in the house. Daniel, how you doing, Del? Good to see you, Daniel. And Old Golfer 67. Let's give it up to Old Golfer in here. I see you flying, Old Golfer. Del, yeah, what's up? Nice explosion there, Del. I appreciate that, brother. Good to see you, everybody. Mutt Dog SD dropping a hello in chat. Let's welcome Mutt Dog. How's it going, Mutt Dog? Good to see you, man. Thanks, Daniel. Thank you all. It's good to see all of you, friends. We got a good one tonight, and I see a lot of you are flying tonight. It's good to see you all. I am Symphonic. I'm your host for tonight's live stream. Friends, we got a good one in here for us tonight, and so let's go ahead and just jump right into it and get started. First and foremost, I want to say thank you to WINWING and Rowsfire for sending us their products, and let's give it up to Rowsfire and WINWING. Of course, WINWING. I see I got a tear on my screen. Hold on. I'll fix that right up. Almost. A little bit of slivers. It's my my ACDC. I almost said my ACDC coming out. My OCD coming out. Good grief. Is that how it's going to be tonight? I think so. All right. Well, friends, so for tonight, let's get on into it before I recognize those of you that are flying with us all tonight in the stream. Remember, this is our channel, and you're all about the show as much as I am, even more so a lot of times. And so, again, friends, tonight, Flight, we are back, and do I even need to say this anymore? Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. I mean, I've retired 2020. How many of you retired 2020? Friends, I don't think there's any reason to keep 2020 around unless you're strapped for cash and you don't have the cash to afford the 2024 version, which I get. But we're in this stream tonight with the Fenix A320. Last time I tried to load the A321, I had some weirdness happen with it where it kind of slowed down and chunked out, but I tested it earlier this week, and it looks like it's been resolved, and so hopefully will be no problems, knock on wood. But tonight, if you saw the stunning scenery of FlyTampa, rather, their Boston scenery, and I gotta say, FlyTampa, it's amazing, and this is the 2020 version, as you can see. It's working, and it's beautiful, and it performs well, and in fact, a lot of you can take that 2020 scenery that you have. I would suggest one at a time. Use something like add-on linker that you can test, and then if something goes awry, your sim locks up, what have you, or crashes, God forbid, you can go ahead and use that to quickly disable it rather than having to mess with moving the directory and stuff in and out of your community folder. But you can take your 2020 scenery and your planes for that matter. I had some of you ask about, well, Sim, what about the 2020 planes? I added a plethora. Yes, friends, the word tonight is plethora. Some of you might say plethora, Test Pilot. Test Pilot is in here, friends. Let's welcome Test Pilot. Try him out. I went through and I added almost all of my, it took like 3 hours this past weekend to add everything in. TJ and all of the rest of you, I did that so that when you're flying your 2020 versions, they'll show up. We got to prepare for a World War II Warbirds flight some point because I've got the B-17 from MicroPro. So when I was doing that, I was like, you know what? Screw it. I'm going to get everything over, and I'm going to test it. I did one at a time to make sure everything was stable. I haven't done that yet with my scenery. But anyway, it does work with a lot of your planes will work in 2024. You just got to move them over from 2020. Tashi, how's it going? Tashi Draco, another moderator in here, using those emojis. Appreciate all of your memberships. It's good to see you and using those. That's awesome. That's awesome. Shahab says, I would have been close to you, but left early. I'm flying from LGA to Toll AA 4678 RPA 4678. Nice, Shahab. No worries, man. At least you're here within the stream, and it's good to see you there. E175 at the moment for Evo. Nice, Evo. Mutt Dog says, I still don't have my 2024 Duke updated, among other things, because I bought it on the store. And but you know what? 2024 Duke is, oh, man, oh, God, I love it. We flew that the last couple times. We've been trying out that new Black Square Duke versions of their B60, and I do love the Duke for sure. But friends, again, tonight we're going to be in the A321 Phoenix aircraft, flying from Boston Logan, FlyTampa, as you see here, and we're going to be going to Charlotte Douglas. That is made by, I think it's FSDreamTeam is the one that I have for that. Both of those I brought over from 2020. Now, if you bought them from the sim market, you just have to enable them. In some cases, you don't even have to do that, and it's great. But again, we'll be featuring a full hardware showcase tonight, featuring the complete WINWING commercial airline setup. And check this out, Maple, and the rest of you. I finally got around to redoing my overlay. So here we go. So we got a bigger, right here, we got a bigger screen for Microsoft Flight Simulator. And as you can see up here, we've got the EFIS left, the FCU, and the right EFIS. Over here, we've got the MCDU, and we got the Flight Sim Mods thing that it pops into, which I love. Talked about that many times. Thanks, Flight Sim Mods, as well, for sending that our way. And I can turn that music down, I guess. And then, of course, we got the Orion Rudder Pedals. But you're thinking, Simfanatic, wait, what the hell? I don't see the MCDU throttle and stuff. Well, it is. It's right here. And I've got my camera here, so I can zoom it over here. And here you can see it'll light up here in a moment when I turn everything on. And then over here, if I can show it, we've got the awesome... Now, this is the V2 version of the A107 from Rowsfire. And so let me get this set back over here, the camera and stuff, and I can adjust that later. And we got the Ursa Minor over here, the flight stick, and these got little servos in them, solenoids rather, and so they rumble, as does the throttle for WINWING, the Ursa Minor, so that's awesome. And so we got a lot of gear here to highlight tonight. I'll try to keep it all straight along with my head. Kerbelet. Kerbelet is in the house, friends. Let's give it up to Kerbelet. Kerbelet, it's good to see you. Everybody say a shout out to Kerbelet. You have the EFIS left and right. I do. So actually, I can bring those up in a little closer view. We've got all the kit and caboodle here. So if I go to the FCU, so there you can see the left EFIS. It's being blocked by my stand there for my microphone. Then the FCU and the right EFIS. And I got to tell you, friends, WINWING, man, I tell you, all their stuff is great, right? All their stuff is great, but the Airbus line is freaking phenomenal, Louise. Louise is in the house, friends. Let's give it up to Louise. It says, hi from French Guyana. Did I pronounce that right? I'll butcher anything, buddy. But Louise, we always love our friends from all across the world coming and joining us in one place. That's what makes this community so awesome and this channel so awesome. It's good to see you, Louise. Thank you for being here with us for the live stream as well. And so that's what we're going to be doing. We're going to be highlighting all this stuff, and that's why I'm doing starting from cold and dark. Thank God Vruden isn't here, because I would have to deal with him complaining every 5 seconds about how long it takes me to get going. And it's going to take a while. It's just going to take a while. Okay? So, because I want to start up very, very cold, very, very dark. so that we can go through the whole process with all this gear, and then we'll get up in the air. And LRM, I've got it loaded. Daniel, thank you, sir, for that reminder. I do have it loaded. One time I remembered, buddy. But thank you for the reminder, Daniel. I do appreciate it. Bonjour, says Nate. Yes, Nate. I love it. So anyway, we're going to start from cold and dark. We're going to go through the whole checklist, so bear with me. And if you come here and you're just like, God, this is boring, don't worry. It's going to get more exciting later. I almost promise. Anyway, you never know at these streams. Something can happen, and it always does. So again, we're going to be highlighting all those things that I mentioned in the hardware. And, you know, I'm going to talk a bit about the Rowsfire A107. I like it. I do. But there are plenty of things that need to be addressed. And in fact, Rowsfire reached out to me, and I think I'm going to be getting their V3. So we're highlighting tonight the V2 version of the A107. I think they improved some things on the A107. I will see when I get the VO3. They're supposed to be shipping that to me. And so we'll be checking that out. And I'll be talking about what I love about the A107, even the V2. Again, we're focusing on the V2. There's a link. If somebody actually drops in an extra... Oh, somebody did. Silver Killer on top of it. Silver Mother Killer. I missed my... there we go. But yeah, it's all great gear, and so anyway, we will be talking about the things that are great about that. So anyway, without further ado, let's go ahead and check out our friends that are in the stream here. I see Bats is in here. Bats, welcome. We got old golfer 67, Delgam. We got Tashi Draco, Young Bopper. Good to see Young Bopper. Who's Chupaki Rico? Chupaki Rico's in the house here. I don't know if he's with us, but he is within the Boston Logan International Airport here, along with Pilot Rick. There's Pilot Rick. Pilot Rick, good to see you. Are you traveling right now, Pilot Rick? Are you working? You're good. They call you the working man. I guess that's what you are. And Maple Leaf, of course, in here, and hopefully Microsoft Flight Simulator holds up for you. How many of you have PS5 and are looking to get Microsoft Flight Simulator for the PS5? TJ Turner loading in right there. And good to have all of you friends. And if you haven't joined already and you're thinking about it, hey, jump in. Spawn on one of us. Spawn on one of us. You can spawn on me or TJ, Old Golfer, Deld, any of us for that matter. But here, I've got a big thank you, friends. Thank you to all of you for your continued support. I figured this would be a good livery. Deld joined us tonight. Do you know why? Well, other than he's just a hell of a guy. But I saved that for Johnny, don't I? But he's one great guy. But Delt joined us because we're flying the Delta livery, right, Delt? There's Evo, Eagle Sky. Almost missed you, Evo. I see you over there. So let's go ahead and jump into the aircraft so we can get started, friends. And we'll go ahead and get the sound. Hopefully the sound's working. Yep, sound's working. Okay. So I've got the flight sim mods. I've got the checklist from JD. And so first and foremost, I want to show you all something. What happens when we turn the power on? And it's just going to light this whole thing up. But to be able to actually appreciate this, I'm going to switch to scene 2 now. And so you can see all this gear here, the panel and everything. I should have my... Unfortunately, the rudder pedals don't light up. Would that be cool, Maple? You can see my peds a little bit easier that way. Sick. Anyway, so I'm going to turn on the the power here. So we're going to go up top. But one thing I got to show you is we're going to move over here to this panel. Hold on. Let me get myself unscrewed up here. All right, so we got the Rowsfire here. So I've got the Rowsfire, and so what we're going to do is we're going to do bat 1, and let's go ahead and turn off the music so we can hear it. All right, here comes bat 1. And you're going to see this other battery light up, if you can see that. And then we're going to hit bat 2, and you can see it below here in the sim. Now everything's going to start lighting up. Not quite yet because I have to do my external power. What I love is that these available, and it's all the same colors right now, Daniel. So like now you can see available. I'll hit that. Whoop. Hit that, and everything. You can see all this comes on. You can see the lights all coming on here. This actually has a dial to lighten it and make it dimmer. But there's a lot of rotation. You got to go to almost 80% on this dial right here. And you notice I'm still turning it. So hopefully they improve that on the V3. But I do love the fact that this adds to the immersion, and actually the functionality of this is awesome. More buffering for a second. Okay, let me know, CP, and the rest of you if more problems happen. Kerbalette says, wash socks just for the stream, guys. That is awesome. Me too. Me too. So now you can see all the FCU EFIS all lighting up there, and of course we have the MCDU as well. So the MCDU is right here, so you can see the MCDU is here, and we're going to be using that to program everything up. And then of course we've got over here the beautiful WINWING Pack 32. As you can see here, you got the parking brake and the throttle, the flaps, the spoiler, and then of course the levers and the throttles there, and we'll be taking a look at that as well. But I'm going to keep this right now on the Rowsfire for now, if you guys don't mind, because I just want to kind of show you as I go through the start checklist here, and I'm going to switch back to our main panel view, and of course I can switch that back and forth so you can get a bigger look. So like right now, if I do the Bravo, there you go, you can see a little bit bigger view of that panel as I run through this. All right, so let's go ahead and do that. Can I get a little closer? Yeah, I can get a little closer. I don't want to have to adjust my stand too much because then I got to finagle with that thing. Kerbalette, OMG, WINWING throttle, are they out yet? No, I got an early release, my friend. So I got the Pack 32, the Ursa Minor throttle early, about 3 weeks ago. And so we highlighted them last week, and I'm glad you're here so you can see them in action. You can ask all the questions you want. I've got a lot of things I want to talk about with this thing. So it's about, for those of you that are not in the U.S., I had one of you ask me a question in one of my videos you posted and asked, "Oh, how long is it going to take? I ordered this thing 3 weeks ago. How long is it going to take to get to me? I think the person lived in UK, and so I reached out to my WINWING contact. They got right back to me. About 2 to 3 months is what the wait time is. Now this person already waited 1 month or about 1 month, so they got about another month or two. Now what WINWING said to me is they shipped out a huge shipment out from China just recently, so hopefully you'll all, if you pre-order it, you can get that hopefully soon. I love it. I love it, Kerbal. I honestly, it is flipping fantastic. You definitely want to calibrate it with the Fenix, but once you have that set for your detents, absolutely phenomenal, man. It is absolutely phenomenal. And yeah, keep the questions coming, everybody, but because we're going to check all the, I got so much gear. I'll be lucky, you all know me, if I can keep my head straight, let alone all the camera buttons and then all the hardware we got, but totally immersive setup right now tonight. Okay, so parking brake is set, so we can see that, and let me do that. So I go down here. So you can see there's a parking brake right here. So if I drop down below, you can see the parking brake. Now, it's a little funky in setting, I got to do a video on setting this up, but you got the parking brake you lift up just like in the real cockpit, and I'm going to make a video going over that and how to set all of that. It's not difficult, but there are certain things you got to be aware of as you handle that. But again, this is a separate piece. This is a separate piece you order. It's a Pack 32. Where you see this line right here, there are two metal rails. This is the metal version, by the way, even though it has plastic on top, that connects into your Ursa Minor 32 throttle, which is your throttle with the engine and all that stuff, controls. And yeah, it's awesome. It's awesome. Okay, so next thing, we're going to go, we got battery 1 and 2, external power nav logo lights. All right, I'm going to go back up here. And so we'll look at the Rowsfire here. All right, bear with me because I don't have enough cameras. I only got 4 cameras. I need another one apparently. Okay, so nav logo lights. We're going to go ahead and we're going to go to 1 on the switch. You can hear that click. Okay. Next thing's next. Man, I don't have enough desk space. That's the only problem with all this gear. Nav and logo, APU master on. Okay, so I'm going to look up top. So you can see right there. I'm going to go ahead and click the APU master. APU gen, I'm going to go ahead and turn that on just so it's on. Usually it's already on. You can see that lights up and turns off. I do like that, just like within the cockpit here. So we're going to go master switch. You can see that blue light's on, as you can see in the virtual cockpit right there. So we got that on. We wait for 3 seconds, and then we're going to go ahead and hit start. And you can see the start button light up is on. And let's switch over down to here. Got too much stuff on my desk. And then we're going to watch this, light up. And let's go outside. We can hear it start up. And there you can see there's a little flap door over here. Going a little too fast. There we go. There's a little flap door. As that APU, that's auxiliary power unit, lights up. Buffered again. Is anybody else getting the buffering? What can help that? I know we don't get in real time CP65, but if you hit pause on the stream just for like a second or two, sometimes can fix that, or reload your browser. Sometimes that works. All right, so we're at 100%, and so at this point, we should be able to switch over. Daniel, you haven't had any buffering? Not there either, Silver. Sounds like on your side, CP. Okay, thank you guys, but thank you, appreciate it. Let me know, because we have dealt with buffer issues before. So appreciate it regardless. So we've got available on the APU. So at this point in time, now what we can do is go ahead and do the external power off. Now, if you have this APU gen off right here and it shows off, normally when you start the Fenix, that won't be off, it'll be on. But if you, as soon as you would go to say, all right, turn external power off by hitting this switch, oop, gotta hit it again. It's another thing I'm going to talk about. It goes to available. You can, everything keeps going, but if that APU gen is off, obviously you all know what happens then. The power goes out, right? Kerbelet says, does all the idle, reverse idle, flex, and toggle work except yes, all of it. But the key is you've got to go through the calibration within the MCDU on the Fenix. And I've only actually, to be honest, I've only tried it out with all the Fenix aircraft, 319, 320, 321 we're flying tonight. You definitely want to go through and calibrate that, friends. Otherwise, it'll be off and it'll drive you freaking bananas and it won't work right. But as long as you get that calibrated, all the detents are available and will work properly. Important thing is you've got to calibrate it. And there's a quirky thing that happens when you map it. Because when you buy this stuff, I'm not talking about the Rowsfire, but when you buy the WINWING Ursa Minor Throttle and the pack, you have absolutely nothing predefined or programmed in your Microsoft Flight Simulator. You gotta do every single thing, button, access controls, everything manually. So what I'm gonna do, and I'm guessing there's probably an XML files that are shared out there that you can load. I gotta look into that so I can maybe make them available to all of you. But the one thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do a video on how to program this thing from scratch, because I probably spent a good hour and a half on it. You guys know this. When you have new equipment, sometimes you got to spend a lot of time thinking around, and there are some gotchas. So I got to do a video on that. But great questions. Keep them coming, friends. All right, we got the external power on. Let's go ahead and do APU bleed. So I'm going to go over here, and we're going to do the APU bleed. And it's a little weird because, now the one thing about this is you'll notice this A107 doesn't always quite match, as you can see in my virtual cockpit at the top there. It's not, the button layout isn't perfectly matching. The reason for that is, obviously this is a scaled down version, so Rowsfire had to condense the buttons and change some of the layouts and remove some of the options. I do believe they're going to be coming out with a full version of the overhead panel, like another company that we'll hopefully get the overhead from at some point. But anyway, the APU bleed you can see is over here. Not over here to the left. And so you hit the APU bleed, and there you go. We got air back there for you, friends. We got the air for you. So hopefully you're cooling down. Cooling down to Chinatown. All right. APU bleed is on. Now we're going to go ahead and do the ADIRs. And this is fun because this actually, unlike the A106 that is from Rowsfire that's cheaper, it's even more consolidated. It only has one switch for the ADIRs control. This one you can see, and you can see in my virtual cockpit that there's one for each one. So I'm going to go nav on each one of these. You're going to see each one of these work. The other thing you got to make sure with the Rowsfire, you got to have FSUIPC installed. You've got to install MobiFlight, and then you got to install a profile to MobiFlight that Rowsfire does provide you. And they do provide detailed instructions, but here's the thing. You can't miss a single step. I've had some of you ask me, this isn't working. You can't miss that. There's particular steps on it that you have to follow. They do provide directions on it. I do wish Rowsfire would come out with their own installer, maybe make it a little easier. But you know, if they were to include FSUIPC, they'd have to license it. MobiFlight's already available for free, so I get it. But maybe at some point they'd come out with their own installer, make it a little easier for everybody. A320 Simulations is in the house. Let's welcome A320 Simulations. How are you doing? Welcome to the live stream, my friend. Everybody in chat, welcome A320 Simulations. Good to see you. All right. So we got the 8-ears. Now we go through the fuel pumps. So you can see all the 6 fuel pumps, and all these buttons I'm just going to go ahead and push in, and those lights should go out. Now, another thing I'm going to mention about this is sometimes these buttons get stuck by this panel because they're square, and they're so close to the cutout for the panel. So more feedback I'll be giving Rowsfire on this, because every once in a while, if you don't push them right in the center, they can get stuck and be like kind of caught on the edge of this over panel, this plate here that goes over the buttons and the switches. And that's another thing I think they need to tweak. Maybe they did with the V3. We'll see if we can't get the V3 and see if they improve that. But again, functionality-wise, freaking love this thing. I love it. 106. I don't know. I don't know if I'd go with the 106. I'd go with the 107 if they make some improvements. The price point still, I think, Ace. I almost called you Asus over. If somebody could check out the pricing, I think it's around $350 still from Rowsfire, or there's a link. Drop in a exclamation Rowsfire. I've got a link right to it, and you guys can see what the price is. I forgot to check it. Sometimes these vendors will change the prices on the fly. So Vaughn Williams and Johnny Mon are in the house. Hell of a guy, by the way. Johnny and Vaughn, welcome to the live stream. It's great to have you guys. Welcome, welcome. All right, so we got the fuel pumps, and we also have the oxygen cruise supply. So right here, we're going to go ahead and turn that off, and you can see the light goes off. Again, I like the colored lights, and I like what Rowsfire has done with those. Don't worry, friends. We're going to get to the wing stuff. Don't worry. Okay. Fuel pumps, oxygen supply, overhead panel, check no white lights. We don't have any white lights. We're going to go ahead and do emergency exit light, and so you can see right here, there is an emergency exit light. I'm just going to push this to auto, and you're going to hear a ding. Nope, you're not going to hear it on that. I'm sorry. No smoking. Now you hear a ding. Auto. Hit the wrong one. Let me try that again. There we go. Okay, so we got auto on the no smoking. Let's see. Emergency exit light, no smoking. Okay, we're good to go. Okay, so let's go ahead and go back down here. We're going to go over to the left, turn on our EFB. Hopefully that turns on. There we go. And we got to load our import SimBrief information. And if you don't have SimBrief by now, why are you waiting? Get it, especially if you're going to fly commercial. Not only if you fly commercial, right, Vaughn? But do get it. So we've got that imported. And we're going to go to ground services. We can take that GPU off because we're not going to use that. We're going to go to mass and balance. For the sake of keeping things moving, I'm going to just go ahead and load aircraft and do instant. And I'm going to send that over to the MCDU. I do like this about the Fenix, so I could take the time to program everything because I do have the awesome WINWING MCDU that I will show you right here. So here's the, and again, we've got the flight sim mods. If you've got multiple panels from WINWING, this is a must in my opinion. Get that back in there. And so I do have the MCDU, so I could program all that in, friends, but I'm not going to bother with that right just yet. Money doesn't grow on trees, you know, I know, right? SimBrief is free. Get it already. Exactly. It's free, and there's no reason not to have it, in my opinion, especially if you fly commercial, right? Okay, so we got the mass and balance set. Let's go back to the front here, and next thing we're going to do is we're going to go to the MCDU. So let's go ahead and take a look at the MCDU. So I'm going to drop down here. Again, sorry I'm taking an extra amount of time, everybody, but if for those of you that are here now or coming later, I want you all to be able to see this. All right, so here's our MCDU, and you're going to see, I'm going to program this in as we go here. So first things first, we got to enter our en route waypoint, so we're going to hit the FMGC button up there, and you can see it. Can you all see that in the sim? You all see that? Yeah, you can see it. Perfect. I'm going to clear that GPS primary lost, and okay, that's fine, I think. I think. So we're going to go ahead and do INET request. We're going to hit the INET button here. And then we're going to go up to RSK2 button. It's going to take the asterisk off the INET request because it's our planes communicating. And there we go. We have it KBOS-KCLT. That looks good. We have the Delta Airlines flight. What is the ICA code for Delta Airlines? Oh, I know you know that one, friends. DAL 542. And then the cost index we're actually going to pull from our SimBrief. You're not seeing this, but you get a printout in your summary, and right now on the very first page it's telling me it's 42, so I'm going to type in 42 LSK5. Our cruise, we're going to go 340, even though SimBrief called for 360, we're going to go 340, LSK6. And then it's going to go ahead and program in the flight level and automatically the temperatures. That is fantastic, because then you don't have to worry about doing that. Okay. That is set. Let's go next to our flight plan. So next thing we got to do is enter our flight plan. So we're going to hit, let's clear that out, FPLN button. Flight plan is, hey, anybody want to type in exclamation FP in chat, and we can see our flight plan, and that would be terrific. Somebody wanted to do that. And let's see here. I'm going to go flight plan. So we're taking off a 22 right. Thank you, CP65. So we're going to go KBOS. And then we're going to hit LSK1 for departure. Thank you, guys. And we are going to take off from 22 right. So we're just going to up arrow LSK5, 22 right, get that programmed. Our departure is PATS 7. So we're going to go ahead and get to PATS 7. PATS 7, insert RSK6. Then we're going to do our destination. That's going to be LSK6, RSK1. When I say RSK1 or LSK6, think L, LSK is left, R, right, buttons 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so that's what I'm talking about. Some of you are like in here like, what the hell is he talking about? We're going to be doing, what should we do? The RNAV a 18 left. Hopefully that's still accurate. So we're going to do RNAV 18 left Y. Hit that one in the LSK5. And then our standard arrival is Chelsea 6. So let's get to Chelsea 6, LSK3. And our transition, we're going to do... arrow. So we got arrow, and then we're going to go ahead and plug that in. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is we're getting close, friends. We're getting very, very close. I can feel it. I can feel it. Can you feel it, Aces? Where's Aces? Why do I keep saying Aces? If I keep willing him, he'll show, Silver Killer. Silver Killer, Aces will be here. Somebody text that guy, by the way. He needs to be here. But what we're going to do is we're just going to skim through this. And we're looking for what, friends? What do I always talk about? This is quiz time for y'all. What are we looking for as we scroll through this? Do 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 do. Where, Aces? Where are you? What are we looking for? Well, we're looking for discontinuities, right? Discos. Exactly, A320. Give that man a silver dollar. Perfect. That's exactly what I was looking for. Now, unlike the Boeing, the PMDG, or other, if you like the iFly Max 8, which I like a lot, you actually have to, you don't plug over these, you don't scratch pad your waypoint and then go over your discontinuity. What you got to do is you hit clear. Got to clear this manual out first, because I try to clear the flight plan, they'll say, not allowed. You say, son of a bitch, what are you doing to me, MCDU? No, what you got to do is you got to clear the manual first, so get clear on your scratch pad. LSK3, we're going to hit clear again, LSK3 again. We get rid of that flight discontinuity, RSK6 to get the temp out, and we're going to continue scrolling, looking for any more discontinuities, discos, like A320 simulation said. And then what I like to do is I like to get back to the brass tacks here, friends. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch over to show you all the FCU. And then so with the FCU, what we're going to do is we're going to go right here. It's kind of out of focus. Can I get to focus? Focus, yo-ho, camera. Here, move it over here. Maybe it'll focus better this way. Maybe I can turn it down. Oh, that's the other thing I love about this thing. Watch this. If I go to the virtual cabin and I go this little wheel, I can actually dim it. So there I can dim the display, or I can go over to the left here and dim these. Maybe it's just too bright. Okay, it was a little bright. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch this to plan, all right, on my left EFIS. I'm going to leave that at 10. Now, the beauty of that is we go back down here. When we do plan, whoops, I meant to go here. I'm going to step through this right now. So with my MCDU, I'm going to go ahead and step through this, and I'm just looking to make sure everything looks good. Nothing's wonky. Is it still bright? I can turn it down some more, Silver. So I'm just looking to go through this, friends. God, I love this Flight Sim Mods tray for these panels. Thanks to Flight Sim Mods again. Do pick these up. They're a little pricey, but they're worth it. If you have multiple panels like me, save your money and apply it to one of these panels than buy anything else, even the WINWING ones, I would say. All right, and so that looks good, right, friends? I think we're looking good. I think everything looks good there. So we just go through that. That's our virtual flight for our virtual flight, if that makes sense. Probably doesn't, but we're okay. Okay, so with that being done, friends, So it's still bright. I can still turn that down, silver mother button killer. Look at this. Watch this. I'll turn it down some more. Check this out. And we're going to go ahead. Look at that. Is that better, Silver? How's that, everybody? That's better. Yeah, there we go. Much better. Thank you, Silver. Silver motherfucking killer, I tell you. Okay, so we got through that part of the checklist. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to do the initialization. We got to get our fuel and everything. Oh, Jesus. Sorry, Lord. Sorry, everybody. I just hit that. I'm not used to the camera being right there. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we are going to drop back down here, and we're going to go to iNet. So we're going to push our iNet button, and then we're going to hit our right arrow to get to page 2. Page 2. And then we're going to hit RSK3. Fuel planning, you're going to see it go green. And then we're just waiting for that to put in our block fuel. Thank you, Silver. Block fuel, and then we got 20.6, so we're going to go ahead and do RSK3 again. That confirms our block fuel, 20,600. And I also am going to hit fuel here. And I'm going to cross-check with my sim brief that it should be at 19,480. Of course, block fuel is going to have some taxi fuel. It's going to have fuel for our APU. You know, all that stuff is kind of figured out beforehand. And so in your sim brief loadout, there's a times and weight. It's page 3. And then I'm just going to check that. My fuel on that says 19,500. My fuel inside the cockpit is 19,480 pounds. We're 20 pounds off. I think we can call that good enough for government work, even for Delta Airlines, right? So that looks good. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and just click that fuel off. And what if you don't have any of these lights on? As many of you know, your Airbus is just going to switch to your ECAM pages that are best suited for and your multi-flight displays, MFDs. It's just going to switch to those as necessary. Okay, so now that is done. Wait, we're not done yet, friends, with this pre-flight planning and programming, the MCDU. Unfortunately, we still have some more stuff to do. We got to do our performance stuff. So what we're going to do is we're going to drop up over here to our tablet. We're going to go to departure performance. We do have dry. We're dry, right? It's dry outside. Oh yeah, look at those blue skies. Blue skies, hey. So we're going to sync this load sheet. There's our takeoff weight, MACTO, sync live weather, and calculate. Now, if you don't want to enter everything in your MCDU, it's okay. You can hit send to MCDU. But because we have the MCDU, we're going to enter it into the MCDU because why not? Because we have it. So what we're going to do is we're going to go over to performance button, performance, hit that in, and I'm going to switch back and forth here. So I'm going to go back to the left, and we got V1, 139, VR 142, and V2 at 143. So 139, 142, 143. 139, 142, and 143 because we like to push buttons. At least I do. I like to push all your buttons because you like to push mine anyway. 2 up 0.9 because we're leaving Boston, so we're going to type in our scratch pad 2/up 0. Seriously, that was .9? I don't think I've ever seen .9, Silver. All right, so we're going to go RSK3, get that programmed in there, and our flex to temp is 57. So we're going to go 57, flex to temp RSK4. And CP65 said, okay then. All right. Okay, so that's all good to go. We're going to go back to flight plan, and we should be set. I don't think I missed anything, but of course you want to do a checklist. And transition altitude, I didn't check that. Well, transition altitude is going to be flight level 180, of course. Of course. We're in the U.S. Flex to temp and V1 speeds and everything's in. Altitude, so now we're going to switch back to our FCU. But first we're going to go over here to the left and check out what our weather is. So we can go back to this main My Flights page over here. And we got 2975. Excellent! I get to actually dial the knobs in, friends. I love it. Hardly ever get to play with the WINWING knobs enough. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying, friends. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. So we're going to go back over to the FCU, and we are going to program in 2975. So what we're going to do is we're just going to dial this in, and boy, do I like that. So we're going on the left, EFIS left, 2975, and then we're going to zip on over to 2975 over here. You can't quite see it, but trust me, I'll get it dialed in right. 2975 on the first officer, and as you can see, we are good to go there, so yay. Okay. 2975, there's our winds and all that good funky stuff. And the other thing I love about if you have a SimBrief, you do have the charts here within the Fenix. I know a lot of you know this already, but some of you might have just joined. and haven't been through this yet, so we'll just go through it. Not departure. What am I doing? Ground charts. And what I like to do for situational awareness, use your resources, friends. You want to do that in real life as you do within the simulator. So we're going to sit over here, and we'll notice this gold triangle or arrowhead is we're going to go right on November here to 22 right over here. So this helps because we know we're going to have to turn right and then taxi to November and then over to N2 probably, or the very base here, and then take off from 22 right. So we'll have that already set to go. All right. We're closer. I can feel it. Okay, so the next thing you want to make sure is, as we can see, the FCU, the speed and heading are blanked out. We want to get our flight altitude set. So this actually has a selector that can go between 100 and 1,000, as you can see here. No, you can't see it because I don't have the camera over. Here we go. So we got 100 and 1,000 to switch there, and then we can just dial this in to flight level 340. And we got that set, so we're looking good there. Transponder TCAS are going to go down here, and we're going to go auto here. So we got that auto set. And what else we got, friends? We're getting close. We're getting very, very close. Evo says, well, I know I have time. LOL, game crash. Oh, that's no, say it's not so. Evo, no! Sorry, Evo. That sucks, man. Well, you still have time, man. You know how slow I go. So you have time. TCAS at auto standby. Now let's go ahead and switch back to our awesomeness. A107 over here from Rowsfire. And again, this is awesome. I do like it functionality-wise. Quality-wise, there's room for improvement. I'm not going to lie. Okay, we already got through that. So external power, verify off, and we can do that because we don't see the external power available or anything or that's on. Next thing is APU bleed is verified on. We can see that light, that blue light is on. In fact, if we go up top here, you can see the blue light's on. FCU altitude, we've already set at 34,000. The next thing we want seatbelt sign to on. Let's listen to the ding. And what I like about this is I can go to the cabin and I can hit it and hear the full effect of these beautiful sounds within the Fenix aircraft. Listen to this. Boom. Love it. All right, back over to the panel. And so we've got the seatbelt sign on. And friends, we are ready for pushback. Let's go ahead and go over to beacon on, and we're going to get GSX ready to go. Here we go. Here comes the crew. Have all the passengers boarded yet? We're gonna say so, Captain Red Sky. Cheers, everybody.
Hello, Captain. We are ready for pushback.
Ready for pushback. What do y'all think? That wasn't so bad, right? To go through that much gear? What do y'all think? Did I do okay? All right, so we've got the crew getting ready. Good, thanks, Captain Red Sky.
Departure check completed. Bypass pin inserted.
All right, I want to go outside here so we can watch them. This right here, in my opinion, is worth GSX by itself. And some stuff like the PMDG, if you're back in 2020, like, I'm sorry, PMDG 737 NG line isn't enough for me to stay in 2020. I left them behind, friends. We still have the 777. Be right back. All right, Silva. Thanks, Captain Red Sky. I appreciate that. I need to refresh this because I think my browser needs to catch up here. All right, so we're ready to push. I'm going to go ahead and go up top. Well, actually, I need to enable GSX here. It's already enabled, but I got to click that. Y'all ever run into that where you have to hit that from the top first, and then you can do Control Shift F12? For some reason, I have that. I don't want to interrupt the pushback. Are we still waiting for him to connect it, or what's going on? Oh, there we go. That was weird. Okay, continue pushback. There we go. And what I got to do is this. I don't like this, but I'm going to hit this. I think you use WASD, but like, look it's gonna put me way back here, and I'm gonna move that. But I wish I could just hit the forward. Does somebody know how to work that out better? I think there's a way to do the mouse, but this is really freaking annoying because I gotta keep hitting. I'm sure I'm being stupid, but like I gotta keep hitting the arrow key. I'm guessing I can configure that in the settings. I just didn't take the time to do it. There's got to be a way to do it with your mouse. I probably have to configure something, but I want to get this. It's like I'm back to playing. What was the old games? Remember the old arcade games where it was track and field, and you had to hit the buttons as fast as you possibly could, and the faster you hit them, the faster it went. That's what I feel like I'm doing right now. Okay, that's obviously ridiculous, but we got it done. I'm going to hit enter.
Exiting from editing mode. Please
Release parking brake.
All right, so here we go. We're going to release the parking brake. And so I'm going to go back down here and show you this. So I told you guys we would get back to the Pack 32. So let me get that going and see if you can all see this. There's our parking brake right at the bottom if I don't lose my... there we go. I just had to get it back far enough. Okay, here we go. We're going to release the parking brake, so we're going to go down here. And we're going to release the parking brake. Here we go.
Commencing push. All engines clear. Start at will.
All right, here we go. We're going to light the engines up. And so right down here, you can see I'm going to hit start. I don't even have to be in the cockpit, which I love. And then we're going to go ahead and flip this engine 2 up. Love that. There you go. You can hear it. Hey, Mr. Oz Flight Simmer is in the house, friends. Let's give it up to Oz. What's up, Oz? Hey, you missed it. I was talking highly of your great Flight Sim Mods panel for the desktop mount for the panels from WinWing. It's beautiful, man. I love it. Good to see you, Oz. Hopefully you're doing well. My brother from another udder. Has the government shutdown hit your flight sim, or are you actually going flying today? I have a lot of stuff to cover, Shane. I've got like everything set up right now. All the gear. You can see your desktop is here, but we've got the A107 Rowsfire. You probably saw that. So I got that I'm highlighting tonight, and I'm going full cold and dark. We got the Ursa Minor 32 throttle, the Pack 32, the Orion pedals, the MCDU unit with your desktop mount. We've got the left and right EFIS, FCU, and of course the Ursa Minor left. So we've got the whole kit and caboodle here, man. It's crazy. You've been watching? You've been lurking, huh? Figured, you son of a bugger, you. That's great, man. Appreciate you being here. All right, so we've got the right engine started. Let's go ahead and start the left. And I love that I don't have to go up to the cockpit to do this. So we've got the left engine switch. We're just going to go ahead and hear the pumps go. There we go. God, I love the sounds of this aircraft, too. Beautiful. Set brakes. We're going to go ahead and set the brakes. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And I love the fact I don't even have to change to go to the cockpit. Did I say that? I think I did. Yeah, definitely. If any of you have the awesome WinWing panels, I've also got a video there. By the way, we have a collaboration video. Some reason I've done 3 and Shane's only done 1 with me, but I don't know. He's also gets a lot more views on his video content, so I guess that's fair. But I'm just giving you a hard time. But yeah, we've got I've got a video highlighting this panel, and so you guys should check that out and definitely go support Flight Sim Mods and Shane. We do appreciate all the support for our community and for sending this our way so we can check it out. I love it. I can't wait to get the Boeing one, Shane, for WinWing. That is going to be amazing. Okay, so that's all lit up, so we can go back. Let me go back to my checklist before I miss something, because you guys know me, I'll miss something. Let's see, engine mode selector, we got all that set. Engine mode selector can go back to normal, so we're going to set that to normal. And now we're going to go APU bleed. Can come off, so we're going to go over to our Rowsfire. Look, I gotta move this camera all over the place. It's gotta be an easier way to do this. Like, not do it at all. Not highlight this stuff at all. Control Shift F12. This is why I need a first officer. What the hell am I saying? You're all for my first officer. Let's confirm good engine start.
We have a good
so they can get the heck out of our way.
Unlocking gear.
All right. Let's see. APU bleed, APU master. Okay, we're going to go ahead and do the APU bleed off. So if I go look up top here, we're going to go APU bleed off. We don't need that anymore. I love the lights. Have I said that? Yep, master coming off. Master switch off for the APU master. We don't have any precip right now, so we're not going to worry about the engine and wing anti-ice. Auto brake can go to max. Speaking of max, I wonder where max is. Auto brake over here to max. Enabled. And where am I at? Oh, auto brake max. Flaps. Another thing. We had flaps too, by the way. So let's go back here. There's a Pack 32 in my cockpit. Okay, sorry, that was bad. Okay, we're gonna. What I like about the, I'm gonna put my arm like this so you can see this. But like, you can't just lift this and go straight back to flaps 2. Just like the real aircraft, it's gonna force you to stop at each notch. And there's detents for each one of those, so I'm gonna go 2 for the flaps. Yeah, I haven't sent it to you yet as we keep selling out, dude. I believe it, dude. I totally believe it. That thing, I'm telling you what, Shane. Outside of your trim wheel for GA, for this panel that you put the panels in for Flight Sim Mods, that thing, actually for the Boeing, I mean, that I'm looking the most forward to that thing, brother. That thing looks like a game changer. In fact, Shane, just so you know, because as you know, I've been talking to WinWing about the mounting and there's probably some improvements for the mounting. At least they provide mounting brackets. But for their Boeing, I'm not talking about the Airbus stuff here. The stuff we're doing tonight, their mounting stuff is awesome. But the Boeing stuff's awesome. Mounting stuff, not so much. And so I actually mentioned, Shane, hey, look, there's actually a group that is doing the Boeing for your panel. They're doing a desktop mount. This is killer. So anyway, hopefully they don't copy you. But anyway, just because I had been talking about like some of the challenges with that. But anyway, I digress. Where was I? Where the hell was I? Oh yeah, flaps 2 and then ground spoilers arm. Another thing I love about this is we'll look down here to our lower right. Right down here. We can pull that up and look at that, friends. Our spoiler is now armed. Wonderful. How funny. How funny? How fun is that? How cool is that? Flaps, ground spoilers, pitch to trim. We got to go as calculated. So I'm going to go down here and I'm going to go to flight controls. And what did I say? I got to go back to my MCDU here because it was, what was this? Like up 0.9? Something crazy like that. Yeah, up 0.9. One thing that is lacking here is there's no trim wheel. I don't have Flight Sim Mods trim wheel. I'm all lost. I don't know what to do. So I actually have to do this manually. But one of you actually had the genius idea of some of these, are these off switches or fire switches? The 1 and 2, one of you had said, I program this as my trim, up trim or down trim, and up trim, down trim for the other. That's kind of a genius idea. Because otherwise I don't use those. I don't even think I have them programmed right now. I need to remember to do that. So we're just going to go up to 0.9, 9 times, 9 times. What movie is that from, Shane? Yeah, you don't know. All right, flight controls are up at pitch 0.9. I've already, some of our products copied them. Oh, have you really? Gosh, dang it. Yeah, and it probably takes a whole lot to get those trademarked, right? Yeah, that sucks, man. Okay, so we've got that all set, and sorry my arm keeps getting in the way, so I'm going to switch to the FCU so it's not in the way. Okay, I think we're about ready, finally. Where's the toga? Toga is in the detents, Captain Red Sky. So the toga is in the detent, my friend. So, right here, let me see if I can show you without killing my camera. You've got, on this, you got to program all your detents, but just like in the actual Airbus aircraft. You got a detent right here for idle. You've got a detent for climb, which we'll use. You've got a detent for flex to temp. And then you got the toga right there, buddy. Captain Red Sky, there's your toga. So we're actually going to use the detents in full. And the other thing I didn't mention is there's a button here. So we got to test this with it right here. My finger's on it, right here. This is going to be good for those of you that do a lot of Boeing flying, like myself. So you can actually turn the detents off. So then it's like the Boeing access, which will be smooth, and you don't have the detent action. I think that's freaking genius that WinWing did that for this throttle, so it can be versatile. And we're gonna try it, test it out with the Boeing iFly or the 777. I think we got to do the PMDG 777 here shortly. Okay, I never turn on the start, and I forgetting to do that every time before I start the engine. I mean to turn that to run, and I forgot. Pitch trim is calculated. Okay, let's go back to our A107 Rowsfire panel overhead, because we're going to start flipping switches again. So on our checklist, again, I'm using the JD checklist. Check it out, friends. It's a good checklist. You can get it free off of flightsim.to. Don't miss it, because it's a great one for the Fenix and other A320, Airbus, in fact, aircraft. Strobes to auto. Strobes to auto. We're going to switch that. I'm going to talk about these little plastic switches. This is the V2 version, by the way. They have a V3 they're sending me that they take these plastic caps off. I know, Oz, you had mentioned that, the fact that these turn, and I agreed, these turn and are flimsy. They just did away with them with the V3. I think they just said, you know what, screw it. We're just going to pull those off. We're getting too much shit from everybody on these. So the V3 actually is just the regular switches like some of the others, like your seatbelt switches and the others. So we got these strobes to auto. Nose lights can come on to taxi. And then the runway turn-off lights at night, we don't need to worry about those. And parking brake release. We are finally ready for taxi. Thank the maker, right? All right. I need a longer ASB-C cable. I'm going to move this up so you can see the throttle and the other. Everybody see that? See the controller here? Maybe not. There we go. It's a little bit better. All right, there we go. Just trying to get all the angles so you can see this, friends. Okay, here we go. Time to taxi. Let's get this show on the road. We're going to do the parking brake off. You can't, yeah, you can see that. And here we go. The other thing I love about this, the WinWing stuff, is they have little servos inside, or solenoids, that rumble. So when you pull the landing gear up or you put the spoilers out, you can feel the rumble in all of it. Even the spoilers. The spoiler lever, they have a servo in that can that will rumble. Don't get any sick ideas, Shane. Keep it clean. When I say versatile, keep your mind out of the gutter, Shane, because I know what you're thinking. All right, I need to check this. Okay, let's just zip on over here. I want to go on the right taxiway. Haven't they heard of glue? No kidding, Shane. I wondered about that too, because you've said that before, and I think that's a great idea. I wonder if they're afraid, Shane, if they do glue, with the switch being, a stainless steel or whatever that is, that it would adhere initially, but eventually it just break off. And so maybe they didn't. I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know if they tested that. They could use epoxy, maybe? Does epoxy bind with stainless steel? But I agree, and I still have yet, Shane, to I'm going to test that. Unless they want this V2 back, then I'm not going to, put glue on it. Or maybe I will, I don't know. But if they send me the V3, I did ask them if they want the V2 that I have right now. But if they don't, then I could, do a giveaway for it, right? I bet you all would love that. Shit, sometimes to ship this stuff, Shane, you know about this, to ship it, if it's international, it would almost be cheaper for me to just buy the unit. Depending on the hardware and the weight, sometimes it'd be just as cheap for me to buy it and have it shipped from Amazon rather than take something I have that I got shipped to me and send it. You know what I'm saying? Hey, Shane, look at I thought this would be an appropriate livery for everybody with the thank you. I didn't even know they had that. I checked that. I don't know if that's a new livery or I just missed it this whole time. We're using the Sharklet fins. See? AV8NZ in the house. Let's give it up to AV8NZ, friends. Can we get going? It's been an hour. Yep, we are going, Maple. As you can see. Let's see. Ferris Bueller's Day Off. That is correct. Good job, Daniel. You are right, sir. Has that been there for a couple years, Maple? Really? Can you get the liveries in Xbox for the Fenix? I assume you can. You have to buy the livery pack. That's the one thing I hate about buying through the marketplace, because, or if you're on Xbox, because PC you can get them for free with the installer. I think the V3 in short time frame is a giveaway to stay away from purchasing it. Don't sell hardware if you're still... Shane, I agree. I honestly, I mean, I've said this before about the A107. Now let me just stop for a moment, though. I do like it, Shane, and the rest of you. I like the A107 because, frankly, there are very few other options at this price point. They're coming by Wingflex and a few others, right? You know WinWing's going to be coming out with one, and you know their price point's going to be busting everybody. So honestly, Shane, I think what they're doing is like so many other devs will do. They'll rush it to market because they know other vendors are going to come out with the same thing or something that's comparable that may be better at a better price point. So they're like, we got to get this shit out the door. It's the same thing with software. You've been in development. It's the same kind of thing, I think. All right, we're going to do parking break here and get outside and check everybody going on here. A320 says, so overall, you like the WinWing throttle, good quality. Absolutely. I love it. I said it before and I'll say it again. I would give it a 9 out of 10. I'd give it a 9.8 out of 10. I love it. Marion Harris, a.k.a. Chipper Sneeze, dropping in the gifted membership. Chipper, my friend, thank you, sir. You're too kind, Chipper. You're a gentleman and a scalasa. Thank you, sir. Akaris receiving that gifted membership from our friend Marion Harris. Everybody give a shout out to Marion, please, in chat, just like you did, Bats, right there. Blue skies, man. Thank you, Marion. That was very kind of you, sir. Very kind of you. Thank you. All right, well, we got to wait here. We still got people taking off. Look at Pilot Rig. Pilot Rig, did you actually pick that, or did I just have your livery there? Because I don't have your livery. Yeah. Totally agree, Os. It's amazing. Now, this is the metal version. Some of you are like, is it the plastic or the metal? It is the metal version. It's just, it's plastic throttles, but the levers underneath. I say, look what you did to me, Os. I say levers now. In the U.S., we say levers. But anyway, that's all metal construction. The one thing I will say that I wish that WinWing did on the Pack 32, or the 32 pack, I always get those backwards. I do wish that they had a metal parking brake. The only thing on this thing that I don't, it's not that I don't like it. I love the functionality. The only thing that feels flimsy on this entire setup here is the freaking parking brake. I wish they would have spent, like maybe added $5 to the overall cost and had this parking brake here as a black metal parking brake. I think that would have been, it would have just completed the package. That's why I give it a 9.8. Other than that, it's solid, man. It's awesome. Like Shane said, AAA plus, yeah. A320 says, okay, I've been thinking about getting it, been using the Honeycomb Bravo with a ProDesk Sim setup. If you primarily fly A320s or Airbus, which I think you do by your name, don't go the throttle. Now, the Bravo throttle is a great thing if you fly a lot of different aircraft, but by the time you buy the ProDesk Sim stuff, that's going to cost you like $80 for the A319 to A321, which is good. I have it. But it's going to cost you like $60 to $80. You can probably pick it up on sale. But you're already going to pay that. Then the Bravo is going to cost you at least $250. Now you're up to $330. You're already over what the cost is with the Pack 32 and the throttle combined. So, now I do have the Mount 5, the desktop Mount 5. It's this metal bar here. It's solid that this is all connected to, which I like because I can have my elbow right on here. But this is really cheap too. I think this is like $38, and you can mount this whole thing to it and have it like lower where you'd normally find it in a real cockpit. I love that setup as well. You fly it all, then you might want the Honeycomb Bravo throttle quadrant. I mean, if you fly it all, but again, I'm going to be testing this. We're going to be doing a 777 flight, and I'm going to for the first time turn off the D10. I haven't even tested that yet, so I can get that full, smooth action without the D10s. So I'm looking forward to doing that with y'all. Yeah, the mount looks it's perfect, man. I've got the mount for, there's the one on the left is the Mount 1. This one's the Mount 5. And in fact, for some of you I know that fly DCS, you can actually hook these up to your, like if you have the HOTAS Warthog, you could hook it up to this, or the WinWing's got a lot of products for UDCS lovers and combat simmers. Maybe you like IL-2, some of those other combat sims. Obviously, X-Plane. But anyway, yeah, I can't say enough about the mounts. The mounts are actually pretty good as far as the desktop mounts go. They're solid, heavy duty. The only thing I don't like about them is like when you move the, they're all aluminum and metal, but when you move the platform that you actually attach your throttle and stuff to, it'll scratch. There's a black finish on this panel right here, and it scratches when you move it up and down. That's the only thing, because it's like kind of a matte finish, and it'll scratch. Small thing, and are you really looking for aesthetics? No, not really. You're looking for functionality, so, you know, that's fine. But I do like the mounts, and so here I can show you the mount over here on the right here. So you can see I've got the Ursa Minor Flight Stick, and then this is the Mount 1 from WinWing, and that just attaches to your desk right there, and you got 2 screws down here, and it's solid. The one thing I wish they would do is like maybe put a little rubber pad on each side, but you can pick something up and do that easily yourself. That's a very minor thing, and honestly, at the price point, you got plenty of money to play with, right? All right, here we go. We're almost there, friends. We're almost to takeoff. Good God, this is taking forever. Oh, thank God Vruden just arrived, friends, because otherwise he would have freaked out. Hey, Shane, I changed my. Did you see my new overlay? So I got the bigger view here, so when I take off, you all can see everything going here. So I did that recently. Maple gave me actually one of the very few pieces of quality feedback from Maple. I had to do that, but I did make the flight simulator bigger in the window there, and me not as big. Okay, bruh. I'm only messing with you, Maple. Okay, let's get back through the checklist here. I'm not going to show the A107. We've spent enough time on the A107, but you can. I'll show you me clicking through things, and you can see it magically move. So right now we are cleared for takeoff. We got to go terrain ND. So let's get down here to terrain ND. That is on. Let's go ahead and do weather, radar, and predictive wind shear right down here. All of these are modular coming from WinWing. I can hardly wait. Predictive wind shear, weather to 2. We're going to go over here to TARA, and I'm going to go chromometer. There, and we're going to go takeoff config. We want to make sure this blue test goes away, so we're going to hit this button, and it says normal, and we know we are golden. Now we're going to go up here, and I'm going to get my lights turned on, so we're going to go nose light. Hey, AV8NZ! Everybody welcome AV8NZ to our family within the membership. Dude, thank you so much for that commercial pilot membership, buddy. Appreciate that. This is for you and for the previous gifted membership from our good friend Chipper Stees, friends. Thank you, my friend. Thanks for joining. Welcome to the family. Check out the members-only content. Just a word of advice, though. Watch out if you go and click on anything that's Call of Duty or Battlefield 6 that's in the members-only channel, because my mouth is a little dirty when it comes to those games. I just gotta warn you, AV8NZ. Love the energy. Thanks, brother. I appreciate your energy, and I appreciate you being here. And thank you for the support, man. I really do appreciate it. Let's go ahead and get the landing lights on, takeoff lights to on, strobe lights to on, wing lights to on, and nav 2. And I think we are golden, friends. Here we go. We're going to wait for TJ Turner to take off. I'm terrible at keeping it clean. Yeah. I don't know, man. Maple, you haven't played Battlefield 6 yet, right? My son, I got it for my son last night. And I had to get his computer, well, he had to do the graphics updates, but for some reason Secure Boot wasn't enabled, so I had to be like, what the hell? And for some reason I missed on the BIOS when I set his computer up, switching it to UEFI. It was no big deal. I just had to go in and do it. But got him set up, and I said, Tyler, this game is a lot harder than Call of Duty, especially starting out. He's like, it is? I'm like, yeah. Then he comes into my office after I got done with work today, and he played it just a little bit, and he's like, Dad, you were right. It was a lot harder. I was like at 3 kills and 19 deaths. I said, I know, Tyler. I was like, I played last night, and I was happy to be in the top half, in terms of kills. And normally, with Call of Duty, I was doing somewhat better than that. All right, here we go. We're going to roll out here. And I am using Track IR tonight, friends. That's what's on my headset here. so I can move around the cabin. And there goes TJ. It just left the field. And we're going to line up. Stereo cockpit. Pete's FS9. How you doing, Pete? Good to see you, man. I'm doing well, Pete. How are you doing? Good to see you, man. Here we go. We're ready for takeoff. We're going to go 40%. And now you're going to hear these detents. %, release the brakes. And toga. There we go. And you hear it click? That's because right down here, it's clicking. It's clicking. Add a left rudder there. We got the Orion pedals with the damper kit. Thanks to WINWING, they sent that our way. Release the forward pressure on the flight stick as we approach V1 and rotate. There we go, rotate. In this end, it's the A321, so no tail strike. Got to be careful on takeoff and landing with this thing. You don't want tail strike. The other thing is I don't have a gear lever, so no, but I feel everything rumble. I can feel the rumble in my Ursa Minor Flight Stick and the Ursa Minor Throttle right now. All of that is rumbling. Oops, I forgot to turn this to arc. There we go. And we're going to go ahead and begin our climb, or continue our climb, and keep our turn going here. Bye-bye, Boston. We're finally up in the air, friends. I know you never thought it was going to happen. Now we got climb, so watch this. I can put this back to climb, 2 clicks down, and automatically to throttle climb. If you don't, I got to take some flaps out here. If you don't take that out, or if you don't calibrate it, that's never going to work because the D10 clicks your throttles right in place. Definitely, you need to make sure you get the throttles calibrated. Again, I'm going to do a video on that, full video. I got to get caught up on chat, but I'm busy with takeoff. I'll get caught up with you fellas. And ladies, if there are any ladies in here. Any ladies? Any ladies in the house? Let's go ahead and do autopilot. I'm going to switch over to the FCU so you all can see this. And I am going to go ahead and do autopilot. So right here, we're going to click autopilot. Enabled. Now you're going to see the aircraft turn automatically. And there we go. Up, up, and away! Let's take that last notch of flaps out. And I'm telling you, the immersion right now, and I love the 107. It's a little cheaply, it feels a little cheaply made. Like Osled, like kind of rushed out the door. V3, I think it's still a product in development, like Oz said. But functionality-wise, I love the thing. I think it's great. I love the fact that I don't have to look around in my cockpit, right? Like, oh, I gotta look up especially when I'm landing, right? Because you all know I have enough hard time with landing as it is. But I don't have to be like, oh, wait, I gotta click that. No, I'm landing. I can just reach over to my right, hit the switches. Landing lights on, landing lights off, taxi light on, APU on, boom. And I don't have to leave. I can keep monitoring, doing my scan as I'm taxiing or flying into the airfield. That in itself makes this awesome. But I do have my concerns if it will hold up. In fact, I need to figure out and see what the warranty is on the thing, because that is a little bit concerning to me, in fact, in terms of, will this thing hold up? Will this thing hold up? A320 simulation says, I think that 107 looks cheap. Plus, once the upper panel is set, you don't really need to go up there. Yeah, except for when you're landing. Once you land and you're pulling off the runway, I like to just go over here and do my runway turn-off lights to on, so I can just do that without having to look up through my virtual cockpit. But yeah, you're right. I mean, most of the stuff you do before you take off. But there are some things that you do on takeoff and landing that I think is nice. Wing Flex Overhead was to be released already. I know. I don't know what the holdup is with that, Oz. Have you heard anything on that? Because they're supposed to be sending one my way as well, and I have heard nothing but crickets. All right, we're about above 10,000. Nothing either? Yeah, I don't know what the holdup is there, Shane. I don't know what the deal is. I did have the person I was in contact with, WingFlex, sent me like 2 months ago about something they ran into, and I'm trying to remember what it was. Something with I don't even want to say because I don't want to say something wrong when it's not accurate. But there was something they hit, but that was like 2 months ago, and I thought they would have it here already. All right, we're gonna go ahead and turn off our landing lights and wing light. So this is what I like doing. I like switching over here, and then I'm gonna turn off the taxi light and runway turn off lights I forgot to turn on, but those are already off, so good deal. The other thing I kind of like about it is, hey, look, we can go right up here, and wait, let me do this. Now we can go right there, and now I can do the lights. Watch, I'll do the left light, and you can see it come out. It's turning. Yay! Look at the animation. Honestly, before I had this thing, I don't think I ever took... Not that you couldn't do this if you didn't have the A107, but you have to be a little quicker. And we've got lights. All right. And then we'll go ahead and turn it off. And I just hit the switch and off, and it goes out. And I actually never noticed that the landing light actually fades out there. That's pretty freaking sweet. See, the things that you can keep finding are almost like Easter eggs when you do these things. Look at the scratches in the pilot window. Look at that. With the sun. I'm telling you what, Phoenix. I used to have you ask me, do you like the PMDG or the Phoenix aircraft better? Phoenix. I'm finally going to say it. For one, I can fly it in 2024. That's a big plus. I do like the 777 from PMDG. But the Phoenix is just, man, they keep updating it. They don't keep talking and making excuses. We're almost there. We're almost there. It's coming. It's coming. And then we keep going, heard that story. No, they just come out with updates. You don't even freaking know when they're coming out with updates. Oh, shit, look, they just had an update, a huge update that just fixed a bunch of stuff and performance and bugs and everything. And it's already in 2024. Okay, that's what, but I love the 737 PMDG aircraft in 2020, but now I'm in 2024. Shane, I'm done with 2020, man. I know a lot of you are done with 2020. I'm done with it. I moved on. We're gonna do a PMDG 777 flight though soon. Soon. What is this? We use those as speed brakes. That's hilarious. Us, listen to you, Mr. Witty. Us says A320 simulations. I hear popping your hand out the window below 10,000 works too. Oh, you cheeky bugger. I stole that from Shane. The cheeky bugger. I get a kicker. That, I love it when Shane does the cheeky bugger. His laugh is contagious. And the other thing I love about Shane in Us Flight Simmer is when he flies the Fokker. Shane, it's pronounced Fokker. Fokker. You swear he's saying another word, but every time he does, well, I'm in the Fokker, but it doesn't sound like I'm pronouncing it. It sounds like he's saying another word that tickles me silly. I always get a kick out of it. I don't know, call me a kid. Call me a child. But I find it amusing. Anyway, I digress, which I often do when I'm doing this. We go back over here, get this ready for our arrival. And so we have that ready to go. And we are above flight level 180, and you all know what that means. That means it's time to go to standard pressure. And so here we go. Testing 1 2. Testing on, testing 1 2 1 2. Testing 1 2. Syphilis, STD, syphilis, testing 1 2 3. No, what that means is standard pressure, you pull out. So I'm going to pull this out, and there goes STD. Get your head out of the gutter, guys and gals. It stands for standard pressure, okay? I know, I said something totally different. I'm telling myself that. I'm sick like you, Shane. But there we got STD over on the right. Actually, I'm picking on Shane because he always picks on me. But anyway, I do love that fact with the EFIS left and right. And thank you, Marion Harrison Bats, for the STD emojis, which, of course, if you look down there really low, below the STD, in blue, it's kind of hard to see. It says 29.92 because that's standard pressure in the U.S. I can't look at the WRX no more without seeing without the weather. I get it, man. Yeah, no kidding, man. AV8. Again, thank you for that membership today. Appreciate it, man. Dude, check out. Hey, dude, we have some members-only content. Be careful if you go to the Vegas for the members-only stuff because there's nothing that's like out of line per se, but it was Vegas. A320 says, my last flight, I hadn't flown in over 3 weeks, so I completely missed all of my light switches around FL 340. I asked my FO if I noticed noticed a vibration, looked up landing lights out. Oops. Oh, that's hilarious, man. It happens. Tombstone Kid is in the house, friends. Let's give it up to Tombstone Kid. How you doing, son? I see we have 40 in here right now. I want to say thank you to all of you for joining tonight. We are highlighting a plethora, and Shane, you've heard that word, right? Plethora of gear tonight, friends, because we've got the left EFIS, the FCU and right EFIS from WINWING. We've got the Bravo throttle quadrant. Bravo throttle quadrant. I have my reason I sometimes say Bravo throttle quadrant is because I actually have my Stream Deck button named Bravo, so then I just by habit I say that. No, we have the Orion Rudder Pedals from WINWING with the damper, and then of course we've got the Ursa Minor 32 throttle and the Pack 32, along with the A107 Rowsfire, and I'm not going to move that right now. And so we're highlighting all this gear. What did I miss? Oh, the MCDU and the wonderful Flight Sim Mods desktop mount. You should have me do a song for your Flight Sim Mods there, Shane. Oh, you know one of the other things I love about your, I didn't mention this before, but he's got there's a cutout here. So I had a USB cable already up here, and like the WINWING USB-C cable has a right angle USB, but I didn't want to, I'm almost out of USB ports on my 2 powered USB hubs. And the fact I could just plug this USB cable that doesn't have a right angle to it right through here because your mount has an opening underneath. Well, that was genius, Shane. I didn't even cover that during the video. I didn't even try it till last night. Please don't. Oh, it's happening. Oh, yeah, baby. It's happening, Shane. I'm going to put together a little a commercial, and then it'll come after me with the law, right? But no, I love the Flight Sim Mods desktop panel. Probably, Shane, as far as Flight Sim Mods goes, I don't have the Boeing mount yet, but it is my absolute favorite because I've got 3 different panels. I got the 777, the PFP7, or the PF7, the P3P, which is a Boeing thing, and then the left and right PCDs for Boeing from WINWING, which are awesome. And then, of course, the MCDU panel like we're doing tonight. And I just got to say that Flight Sim Mods add-on, oh my God, is it a gem? I love it. All right, so what are we at? Bob Smith in the house. Bob is here, friends. Let's give it up to Bob. Welcome, Bob. Good to see you. Bob, let's take a look at that wing, shall we? Look at the shape of that wing. Love the shape of that wing, Bob. Shahab says, quick question. Should I get GSX? I've heard about lots of bugs and crashes about the mod. My computer specs Intel i7, 14 Gen, 20 cores, 32 gigs of RAM, 8 gigs of VRAM. Honestly, I think you're fine, especially if you're, are you going to go, do you have 2024, Shahab, or 2020? There used to be a lot more bugs with GSX, frankly, and I'm not going to, hopefully I don't jinx myself tonight, Shahab. I would definitely get it, especially if you do a lot, I mean, if you do a lot of commercial flying, yes. It's another thing that adds to the immersion. You're on 2020. I can't say for 2020. I think it's fine, but maybe somebody else has it for 2020. I'm in 2024, so if there are bugs and stuff still for the 2020 version, I don't want to say. But in 2024, it's been great. I've liked it. I haven't had problems with my simulator crashing. I haven't had problems with bugs with it. They've done multiple updates to it. Shane, what do you think? You've got GSX. How about the rest of you? I know Pilot Rick, if you're still in here. Your Sim CFI's in the house. Your Sim CFI. Welcome to the live stream. Welcome, my friend. Sorry I missed you there. Says, yo, just landed from DCA. I'll send you a cool pic on the Discord. Feel free to share. Awesome, man. That is awesome. Like in real life, because your Sim CFI is actually a real airline pilot and flies the, I'll get it wrong again, CRJ 700, 1000, something like that, right? That's awesome. Yeah, drop it in. Drop it in Discord, brother. Good to see you, your Sim CFI. Hey, I was talking about the, we've got a couple of great influences here. We got your Sim CFI here. Close, the 900. Damn it! I knew I'd miss that. Shucks! But your Sim CFI in here, along with All's Flight Simmer joining us tonight. It's great to see you guys. fellow content providers, streamers. Do check out their channels. If you type in !AFS, you can check out Oz Flight Simmer's channel, and somebody wants to drop in your Sim CFI's a link to his channel. Please feel free to do that if you would, and do check him out. He's a real airline pilot, and it's great. Who unsubscribed? How dare you unsubscribe? Who, me? I didn't unsubscribe. Meanwhile, 700 pilots be like, size don't matter. Oh, there you go. Oh my gosh, we just went downhill again. Down that flippin' drain. Kerbelet says, does GSX need custom scenery? Nope, it does not need custom scenery. Nope, it'll work by default. That's a great question, Kerbelet. Works just perfectly fine. A320 has simulations. Has a great channel. Yes, do check that out. Thank you, Oz Flight Simmer. Thank you, sir. Yeah, we're all about plugging others' channels. Do drop in a link to Shane. Feel free to drop in a link to A320's channel if you want, or if you would. Look at this. Travel the Caribbean in here, friends. Member for 2 months of Commercial Pilot says, good evening, everyone. Here, we'll hear a bitching Betty. Hold on.
Good evening, everyone. Happy Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Loving all of the streams like always. BTW. I think I got a girlfriend, lol. Blue skies.
Nice travel. Hey, everybody, do a shout out to Travel the Caribbean. Good to see you, man. Yeah, breast cancer awareness. Appreciate you posting that. Obviously, we all have relatives, family, friends that have all been impacted by that terrible disease. And so appreciate that reminder. And again, appreciate 2 months of membership to our channel. And appreciate the support, brother. Appreciate it, man. This to you. Oz Flight Simmer right now, he'd be doing a symphonic shuffle if he could. Thank you, brother. Thank you. I won't play the whole song, but I appreciate that support, man. And thanks for mentioning the breast cancer. And girlfriend, Blue Skies is right, Travel Caribbean. You've got a girlfriend? Like that's awesome, man. That's awesome. Listen, look at Travel the Caribbean dropping in those blue skies and symphonetic emojis, because if you remember, it's the little things, right? You can dropping them in. And Delgam, somebody's got a girlfriend. Thank you, Shane, for dropping that in. That's awesome, man. That is awesome. The blossomest. Here, this is for all of you in Travel Caribbean. There you go. Thank you. Thank you, sir. You're a gentleman of Scala. I don't know about you guys, but once I hit 340, which, by the way, we're almost at top of climb. Look at this, 34,000 feet. I'm going to go ahead and you can all feel free to roam around the cabin. In fact, if I turn off the seatbelt sign, will it ding? Oh, let's look at that. I just did that on the Rowsfire A107. I love it. Okay, and what I'm also going to do is you're going to see some magic happen here, because I'm going to use, without using my mouse, yes, friends, it can work. I'm going to switch my left MFD, as you can see right here. It's right now at 10 nautical miles. I'm going to flip that to 40. So now we got this middle line at 20, and this radial out here is at 40. And I'm going to do the same at the first officer with the right EFIS from WINWING. I'm going to do the same thing. In fact, you're seeing that on landing systems, so I'm going to switch that over to ARC as well. And this one I like to set at 80. And you can see the weather information sitting there, and I got that program. The other thing I'm going to do really quick, because I'm looking at the flight plan on my MCDU. By the way, you can buy multiple WINWING MCDUs and have them work independently, which I think is a nice touch. We're going to go over here and go to performance and have that ready to go. But if we go over here, now that we're at top of climb, I'm just going to scroll through here until we have, again, I got the MCDU here, until we get to that top of climb indication, or top of descent, I'm sorry. So that T/D, that's 2041 in UTC. So of course that's the time. And we look up here, 2041. Oh my gosh, you're all gonna have to deal with me for another, 41 hour and 18 minutes, if my math's right. Holy shnikes, I am so sorry you're all gonna have to put up with me for another hour. No, it'll be good. I'll make it worth your while, because when we're going to take a break right now, go grab ourselves an orange whip, grab a Fresca, do a bio break. I want to say thank you. We got 37 in here. I saw it up to 42. Thank you all for joining. Friends, I'm going to be right back. I got to go potty. Say goodnight to my Mrs. Symphonetic. Say I love her. Say I'll see her in the morning, because I got the rest of my family all here online. She understands, right, Shane? Your wife understands. They just put up with it. Actually, they do a good job of supporting it, to be honest. But I'll be right back in about 10 minutes, friends. 10 minutes. And don't go anywhere, and I'll go outside here, and we'll kick up the tunes, all right? All right. Stick around, friends. Don't go anywhere. I'm going to talk about some more stuff. Yeah. Yep. Okay, be right back. MCDU mount, if you type in exclamation FSM, stands for Flight Sim Mods. You can find it. It is the WINWING. It's the Flight Sim Mods WINWING desktop mount. And Shane, if you want to do a direct link to it, I think I have it in the description as well. But yeah, definitely check that out, Kerbalhead. Be right back!
Ceiling 6200 broken. Temperature 14C. 2.1C. Altimeter 2968. November 8th, Niner automated weather observation 0200 Zulu. Wind 266 at 11. Visibility 10. Sky condition. Ceiling 6200 broken. Temperature 14C. 2.1C. Altimeter 2968. November 8th, Niner automated weather observation 0200 Zulu. Wind 266 at 11. Visibility 10. Sky condition. Ceiling 6200 broken. Temperature 14C. 2.1C. Altimeter 2968. November 8th, Niner automated weather observation 0200 Zulu. Wind 266 at 11. Visibility 10. Sky condition. Ceiling 6200 broken. Temperature 14C. 2.1C. Altimeter 2968. November 8th, Niner automated weather observation 0200 Wind 265 at 11. Visibility 10. Sky condition. Ceiling 6200 broken. Temperature 14C. 2.1C. Altimeter 2968.
All right, friends, back with you. Look at that. I didn't even take the full 10 minutes. Although I did. Did you guys see that I snuck in 1 extra minute there? Oz Flight Simmer, thanks for joining us tonight. Wish you the best. Blue skies, buddy. I'll try to catch your live stream Friday. Although, speaking of Friday, I think we're going to be doing, hopefully, we'll have to see. My wife, Friday next week. I keep thinking Halloween's this Friday for some reason. Next week, Halloween, if everything works all right. My wife's got a conference she's got to go to on Saturday morning, and I'm going to drive her to Des Moines. But I do plan on doing a Halloween American Truck Simulator stream, which should be awesome. Yes, Bats. And had to talk to my wife because my Mrs. Symphonac's like, Symphonac, and that's not what she calls me. Just in case you're all wondering. But in any case, she's like, Darren, I do leave the next day for a conference. I'm like, oh, crap, that's right. But she's like, no, that's fine because you usually do the streams later when you do American Truck Simulator, like especially on Friday. I'm like, yeah. So I don't know what you all think, but Halloween night, we'll probably do the live stream maybe at 9:30 my time, or maybe 10:30, but probably 9:30. I don't know. She usually goes to bed around 9 o'clock, so I'll play it by ear. But the plan is still on. I've got a surprise. Now, many of you that have been following me for a while know that I like to, shall I say, suit up for those events. So I might have something special for American Truck Simulator in terms of a costume, but we'll see. We'll see. Pete, you're in for a treat. Maple says, oh, hell no. Murderer for passengers. There you go. No, I've got plenty of that for sure there, Gerbilette. But definitely looking forward to that stream. And that American Truck Simulator was so much fun. Johnny Munt, hell of a guy, by the way. Screw it, Symphony. Just pull an all-nighter. Problem solved. Yeah, you can do that, dude. I can't. Johnny, I don't know how you do that. I know how you do it, Johnny, because you're one hell of a guy. You can do that, but I can't do it. I can't. I don't know, man. You've got like that stamina. You're like a superhero, dude. You've got that stamina that you can stay up all night. Although I did get Bats and I got a picture of you crashed out at your place, so it finally caught up to you. It finally caught up to you, buddy. CP65 says regular start time is preferred. I get that, man, but I gotta defer to Mrs. Symphonetic. I'm just gonna be happy I can get a live stream in with y'all with American Truck Simulator. Have you ever done American Truck Simulator, CP? You ever done American Truck Simulator? It's God, that was fun. I've done one members only flight. I've done only one members only drive, or what do you call it? Convoy. That's what you call it. And American Truck Simulators with several of you. And then we did the live stream debut a few weeks back. God, that was fun. Until Tashi stopped in the middle of the frickin' road, and I went to dodge him, ran into his trailer, and went over the edge of the bridge. Now you can see the train better. Who's that sound like, Bats? That was so freaking funny. Yes, friends, I went ass end over tea kettle. Is ATC multiplayer? Yes, Kerbalette, it is absolutely. That was the fun of it. Fruit in the Great is back, friends. Let's give it up to Fruit in the Great. Fruit, I think you were there for that debut of American Truck Simulator, right? Where we streamed that together. Had a good old time. And I got American Truck Simulator voice out, Symphonac, the trucker. Yeah, kick those tires, light those fires. Yeah, I don't know where some of these voices and characters come from, friends, but it's kind of fun. But, God, that was a lot of fun. Sorry, a lot of stuff here. There's a lot of stuff here, Bruden. Watched it later and commented. Yeah, oh yeah, that's what I saw. You missed the stream. That's why I thought you were there, but I remember you commenting. Bruden, look at the shape of that wing, by the way. Like that shape of that wing? I do. It's a pretty shape. What do you think of my livery, Bruden? What do you think? It's a thank you to all of y'all. Right there. Bruden, by the way, friends, Bruden likes it when I go out. He always gives me crap that he says I don't go outside the cockpit enough. He's always giving me grief that I don't go outside enough. I don't get out much, apparently. Within the sim or even at home, I just don't get out much, friends. Mustang 302 in the house. Mustang, how's it going, buddy? By the way, I did not forget to turn my webcam on. I just want to take a break from being on. Actually, it's not me wanting to take a break. I want to give you all a break from my face. How about that? That's what I want. Yeah, that's it. Give you all a break from my face. From my noggin. We needed a break. Yes, sir. Oh, I know you did. That's why I'm off camera right now. I'm just chilling back. I get to sit back, relax, and I'm just right now, I'm leaning back in my chair, and I'm reading all of your comments in chat. Because I don't have to feel like I have to produce for the camera. You know what I'm saying? Tashi Draco said chrono. I set the chrono, I think. Pretty sure I did. Yeah, see, it's going. Right there. Is that what you meant? Or you mean something different? You probably meant something different. But if we do look, we're still quite a ways from the... I'm going to be lazy. I'm not even using the MCDU right now. Just a second. Mrs. SimFans, like, in here saying something, and I got to see what she's saying. No, he's outside. Okay, and where was I? Oh, yeah. Okay. I got distracted by my pretty wife. Oh, there's top of descent. Okay, so we're at 2039, and oh yeah, we got like 58 minutes. All right, plenty of time to chat. Digging this. Gotta get back to my spot here. There we go. SBJ right here. There we go. Back outside. Tashi, who says? Are you saying that to me? Worst of you? Wait, hold on. I gotta get caught up here. No passengers in the plane? No, there isn't, unfortunately. So Vern says, so I have a poll for you to post, SimFan. Hey, is it Geo Suden? Geo Suden is in the house, friends. Let's give it up to Geo Suden. Welcome, Geo Suden. Appreciate you being here. Welcome, buddy. Thanks for joining the live stream. You'll even get me to... I haven't seen you in here before, Geo Suden, but you obviously are a member, or maybe not a member, but a subscriber, so you'll make me come out of the woodwork really quick just to say hello. Hello! How's it going, buddy? Thanks for joining. Oh, disarm your bloody spoilers. What are you, English now, Maple Leaf? Thank you, by the way. I forgot to do that. Thank you. You saw the E-cam. Watch this. Boom. There it goes. Spoilers disarmed. Thank you, Maple. Give me back my bloody hat, you fool! I remember when I was in, way back when I was in grade school, I was riding the bus. And I remember some punk kid took a hat from this guy that was obviously from the UK. And I'll never forget, he goes over to the kid, he grabs his hat back, he goes, give me back my bloody hat, you fool! That's Maple. He's using the bloody term. Although Maple, he's toured the globe, right? Oh, there you go. Says, yeah, I kind of like that. Let's see. I kind of did like there for 4 years, learned all the basics there. And so a lot of stuff I do the British way. There you go. Oh, CP, there are a lot of... most kids are punks, not all kids. There's a lot of punk kids, though, right? Where they don't know any better because they're still, like, getting their frontal lobe developed, right? Oh, by the way, speaking of kids, my son's like, Dad, and he's still playing Battlefield 6, and he had a positive score. He's playing what's called Domination, and I told him, because he's like, Dad, I'm getting my ass kicked. He didn't actually say ass, I did. But he's like, Dad, I'm getting my butt kicked. And I'm like, T, you really need to try the domination mode, because that's more like the Call of Duty he's used to. Because I mean, you get in that big world environment, and there's like tanks and helicopters and planes and APCs and all that stuff. It's cool, but it's pure chaos. It's a whole different game. Put it in chat. How many of you play Battlefield? I mean, regardless if it's Battlefield 6, how many of you played Battlefield? Where you have to do the different, where is Top of Descent? Top of Descent's about 54 minutes away. Top of Descent is after... Now you're going to make me scroll through this again, Bruden. It's after Rillo. WRLLO. Here. It's after WR... No, it's WRLLD, I guess. Need new contacts. Let me go back up. BF2 is my last one, Kerbelet. Yeah, I remember the old Battlefield 2 days. I actually had the original Battlefield, and, you know, way back then. And then what was the one that came out on PS2 or PS3? It was Bad Company. There was like Bad Company and Bad Company 2. And I used to play that with a group that I worked with, and that was a lot of fun. And the thing I like about Battlefield is not only the class system, and you actually have to work as a squad, because if you can get away with not working as a squad if you're playing the domination mode I was talking about. But if you're going to play in the open field combat, what is it called? Conquest. There's another, I don't even remember all the names. But if you're in that big battlefield area with all the tanks and helicopters and planes and just freaking snipers and oh my goodness, if you don't play as a squad, as a team, you are absolutely, and that's what I got to say about that. There's no way you're gonna. I mean, you got if you're gonna want to win as a squad or a team, you've got to work together. There's just no way you're gonna win against other teams that have squads that are working together. You're just gonna get owned. Let's see. Bruden says, I'm just concerned about the landing procedure. I'm afraid the lag will prevent Maple from saving us. I get what you're saying. I do. Evo, let's see. I'm sorry, I missed some of these. Bat says BF6. Yeah, Bats and I were playing BF6 a few nights ago. 1942, yeah. Oh, God, yes, Kerbelet. 1942 in Battlefield Vietnam. Oh, remember there was the Battlefield. Remember they had all the mods as well? Like the Vietnam was cool, but remember they had the, oh God, what was it? It was the one where it was the Middle East. What was that mod for Battlefield? That was the other thing that was so cool. Like you could mod Battlefield. And I remember doing the Middle East combat, and that was a load of fun. Here, just to give you all something to look at, the camera views. So here again, we've got the FCU, and we got all the gear here. The MCDU, the FCU, the EFIS from WINWING, as you can see, the Orion Pedals. And then, of course, we got the A107 Rowsfire. So we got the whole kit and caboodle set up here tonight, friends. That's... and the left EFIS stick over here, but yeah, pretty cool stuff. Scalper, listen, gentlemen, I perform a service here, and the service costs money. Do you want the tickets or don't you? Bruden, what are you talking about? Who said scalper? Yeah, I'm lost as well, Evo. Johnny, I think Bruden's hitting the bar hard. Fast Times at Ridgemont High. Oh, I missed the movie reference. Sorry, Bruden. Dude, I usually get those, too. Went too many heinies. Is that Bruden's drink? Johnny, you would remember. I don't remember Vrooden's drink. What was his drink? Was it Heineken? I forget. I thought it was obvious. Fast Times at Ridgemont High. It's a great Sean Penn, right? Great movie. Judge Reinhold was in that too. So I can tell you the actors in it, and a lot of actors in it actually beyond those two. But that movie actually I haven't watched that. I know, CP. That movie I've seen obviously, but that's not one of them that I watched a bunch of though. I know Sean Penn's character was Spicoli, right? Since you're here and I'm here, wouldn't that make it our time? Remember you ordered the pizza? It's a good scene. Max just walked into the room, by the way. Oh, yeah. Yep. Now, was she the pool girl, A320 simulations? I think she was the pool girl, right? Hey, Johnny says, hi, Max. Johnny says, hi. He says, hello, Johnny. That was my Scooby-Doo impression, by the way, that I failed at. Max walked or strolled? I'd say strolled. Yeah. He trots. That was pool scene, yes. Max the dog. Max distracts me, makes me crash. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Sure as heck isn't my doing. Right? Max is definitely a stroller, yeah. He is a stroller, friends. He is a stroller. Do y'all ever have it where you're like half the day you're thinking it's Thursday and tomorrow's Friday? That was half of my day today. And I was like, oh, thank God tomorrow's Friday. Wait, no, it's not. It's Thursday. Ah, crap. For some reason, I was thinking it was Thursday. And, I know we normally do the streams on Wednesday, but we've done a few streams, within the past couple months where we did stream Thursday. We used to originally stream Thursday and Saturdays. Now we do Wednesday and Saturday. Dedicated to the world's best employees and customers and SimFans. So let's just go ahead and talk about the A340 by I&I Builds. I really need to get that, and some of you are talking in Discord, calling me out, and I do believe it started with Bats. I think it started with SoCal Jerry, which, by the way, where has he been lately? He hasn't been joining the live streams. He pops into Discord every once in a while and talks about stuff, but he hasn't joined a live stream in a while. But anyway, SoCal was called me out on the A340. He's like, oh, Symphonic, you're supposed to get the A340 because Captain Howdy finally bought Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. I'm like, yeah, I still need to get... Well, somebody said the 350. And I think Maple wants me to get the 350. But the 340's better, and the 340's $60 through the marketplace, where the I&I Builds A3 350 is what, $80, $81? So if the A340's better, why would we spend an extra $20 for the A350? He was initially calling me out on the A350, but I'm like, no, I want to get the 340 because Captain Howdy said the 340's better. And so, and then Captain Howdy followed up in Discord, John, with, yeah, Symphonix, right, I'd go with the A340. So I'm back to that. It is not better? I don't know. That's what I hear, Maple. I hear the 340's better. There is another A340 on the way. You are correct, CP65. And actually, Osflight Simmer, who was in here earlier, in his news videos, I don't know if it was the latest one or the one before that, but he talked about A340. I'm trying to remember the developer that's working on that. And now it slips my mind. But yeah, and so I'm like kind of curious, like, okay, do I wait for that to come out? But I don't know if it's one of those things where we're going to have to wait, was it the latest? Or I have to wait, I don't know how soon that'll come out. And that reminds me, I had a reminder in my, any of you checked out Notion for project planning? It's a great app, it's free. Anyway, I've got that set up so I can have reminders for like content and things that I need to do. Either I need to create videos for or live streams for. But I put a reminder to reach out to Bluebird Simulations because, of course, as all of you know, they're doing the 757 aircraft, and I met them at Flight Sim Expo in Providence this year. And we are going to get an early release, so I think, of the aircraft, and I'm also going to try to get them to, they said during the expo, we'll see if it happens, that they're going to join us for a live stream during an early release, and then we can all, I'll have them on Discord voice, and we can chat with them. You all can ask your questions. They do have Boris Soundworks did the audio for them, and it does sound amazing. Actually interviewed Jeff Fabiano for the third time at the Flight Sim Expo, and he was really impressed with the sounds. That was like one of the first things he mentioned about it. Oh, it's Tolis. That's right, Tolis and Aerosoft. Thank you, A320 Simulations. That's right. Do you know when that's supposed to come out? Because I didn't hear like when that's supposed to come out. It's one of those things where like, do I wait? It's like all of you wonder, right? Do we wait until that next thing comes out? It's kind of like the PC-12 from Coronado came out first, and it's like, okay, SimWorks Studios is coming out with a PC-12. Do we wait for that? Because SimWorks Studios did a good job on the PC-6. Do we wait? And then. Man, that I have the PC-12 from Coronado. It actually got better reviews overall than the PC-12 from SimWorks Studios, which I was just blown away by. No dates yet. Okay, thank you. Yeah, I was kind of blown away that because SimWorks Studios, their PC-6 is amazing. I was surprised that the PC-12 wasn't that good, and I think the Coronado. Like so many of the Coronado aircraft, the texture works good, the flight model's acceptable, but the systems are somewhat not so great. You all thought I was going to say another word, didn't you? I mean, I don't mind the Coronado aircraft. They're okay, but they're definitely not deep level, right? Yeah, shite. Or the Kodiak 100, thank you. Yeah, the Kodiak 100. I think, is it Black Square that does the PC-6? That's right, Kodiak 100. Thank you, A320. Yeah. I think PC-6 is Black Square. There's so many aircraft and developers, I can't keep them all straight. There's so many. But by the way, I think I talked about this during the beginning of this stream. I ported over, oh my gosh, probably at least 25 general aviation aircraft. I spent like half a day this past Sunday porting them over and testing them and making sure that the sounds worked, the aircraft worked. I didn't do like a complete thorough check on them. I mean, what I did is I started them, I took off, and that was about it. Just making sure that everything worked. The systems worked, and the sounds worked, but they were all 2020 aircraft that I got third party, by the way, because the ones that you purchase from the marketplace, those should automatically be able to be streamed, as probably you all noticed. For those aircraft you bought through the marketplace that are 2020 versions, but I did that for all the third party stuff I had. I had like 25 aircraft, general aviation, that I moved over. There's a few I still need to move over that are third party that, but I didn't do the PMDG ones. I'm so incredibly frustrated with PMDG, by the way, if you guys haven't noticed. I used to publish videos on PMDG when they had news, like Robert Randazzo would post something in their forums. And I just finally got kind of sick of it because it was just, I don't know, it was just a lot of talk and nothing produced. So I just kind of gave up on doing any videos because I didn't want to like lead everybody that you follow me that, oh yeah, that's around the bend. It's like, we'll wait until we see. I'm just going to wait until we see it. They've been, A320, they've been close for like a year now. All talk and no action. And I'm just really irritated by it. It's just like, don't, be like Phoenix or be like I&I Builds or be like any of the third-party developers and just don't keep talking. Just, if you have new stuff that you're working on, everybody, all of us want to hear that. Tell us about the 747 you're working on. But don't keep dragging us along like the tablet. That was a big frickin' joke, right? The tablet. Oh, we got a tablet coming out. It's going to be great. It's going to be great. And it's... the tablet from the Phoenix, the very first version, was like light years better. And, it's coming out for 2020. We got it. Well, it's in beta testing. It's been in beta testing for like how many months. And the price model is, it's shit. Yeah. Price model's terrible. I'm really frustrated with them. I like their aircraft, but I don't like their marketing. I don't like their cost model. And their aircraft's great. I mean, I love the planes. I like the 777. But they're so bottom line oriented, like most companies should, but it should start with the passion, not just the money. And I feel like a lot of it's the money. And I know I've been told by other influencers, you shouldn't like, knock them too much. But you know what? I got to tell you all what I think. That's why I'm here. I feel your pain and frustration, friends, and I'm gonna speak my mind. I'm not gonna hold back. Kind of like I did with the Rowsfire. They sent me this product for free. Doesn't mean I'm gonna say everything's great about it. I'm gonna tell you my honest opinion on it. My honest opinion is the functionality is great. The parts, there's room for improvement on the quality of the parts. And by the way, WinWing, all flipping good. WinWing is so good. Once the 737 is in 24 along with the chase plane, I can drop 2020 and I'll be a happy man. There you go. That reminds me, AV8Ns. I cannot wait for the Flow Pro. How many of you guys are waiting for the Flow Pro to come out for 2024? I can't wait. I love that utility. How many of you have the, for 2020, had the Flow Pro from Parallel 42? So good. So good. You have it A320. I love that program. And I can't wait until it's released for 2024. And I know it's in development. I know they're working on it. But my goodness. You're absolutely right, Johnny Mon. We know Symphonic. If you could marry WinWing, you would. God, I love it. And the other thing is, like, I reached out to my contact, Hazel at WinWing, and one of you had a question about, you pre-ordered the Ursa Minor Throttle and Pack 32, and they ordered it like 3 weeks ago, and they're like, I kind of wondered, when will I get it? And I reached out to my WinWing contact. They got back to me within like 15 minutes, and I posted an answer in YouTube to the comment on the video. It was on a short, I think, of the Pack 32 and the Throttle, and I said, hey, this is what I got back from them. And they're like, thank you. And I'm like, my pleasure. Happy to help. So if any of you have any questions on WinWing, let me know. Whether it's during a live stream here or later on, if it's in Discord, or if you have questions and you post it in the videos, I'll get you a response. I think I'll get you a response faster sometimes than you'll get when you post a question to their support channel. Because the contact's so good about getting back to me. And Johnny Man says, that's why you're here, and that's what it's about. Yes, sir. Well said. Well said. You saw that, Johnny? Nice. Delt made a comment, and I think I missed it. Where was Delt? Oh, Delt, me. Yes, Delt. Awesome. Hey, Delt, I got a question. We interviewed Skolarki at Flight Sim Expo. How are you liking that TQ box, brother? Are you loving it? The TQ box? Let's drop down here and see I'm going to go to our right MFD just because it's closer. That reminds me, WINWING, I still need to get their rudder pedals out of the Airbus model. I would love to get that. 2039 to top of descent. So you got about 35 minutes. I'm going to set my sundial, aka watch, so I don't forget. So it buzzes me before I overfly the top of descent and miss it like I do so many times. Aviate NZ says, I'm considering self-loading cargo this month myself. Maple says me as well. Yeah. Yeah, the Flow Pro, my goodness, it did rock, bats. Yeah, the Flow Pro, guys, I'm telling you fellas, that is where it's at. I cannot wait, and I wish I had an update on when that's coming out. Look at Young Bopper up there. I missed you, Young Bopper. When did you sneak in here? Were you in here all along, or all of a sudden I see you in front of me? Del Gam says, I absolutely love it. Yeah. On the TQ box. Dude, that's flipping amazing, man. Del, so for those of you that don't know what we're talking about, there's a company named Scholarkey, and they had and this is a true story. While Del and I were at Flight Sim Expo, we're walking around the showroom, right? And they had the full, setup cockpit. And in fact, Pilot Rick, who was in here earlier, I don't know if Pilot Rick is still here, but he was flying with us, so I imagine he's still here. Pilot Rick, he's still here? But anyway, Pilot Rick and Maple signed up to do a flight, and so they did the flight in the full cockpit. But when we were earlier on, we were walking through and we saw that full cockpit setup by Scholarkey. And I shit you not, Delt says to me, he's like, man, if they would just make something smaller, that doesn't cost thousands upon thousands of dollars or tens of thousands of dollars for a full cockpit setup. If they would just have a smaller version with the throttle and all that. And let me turn her off. And lo and behold, I mean, what was it, Delt? A few minutes after you said that, we're like, what is this? And it was a TQ box, and it was a smaller version of the throttle control unit, the what's the 32 pack that's from WINWING, where you have the spoiler and the flaps and the engine on off start switches and the spoiler arm and all that, and it's all there along with a huge massive ass trim wheel, which I wish I had right now, and all metal, Delt, right? It's all metal construction, solid. Del, did you actually get the stand? Because they had a stand that you could add on, that you could mount the TQ box. Did you get the stand? I don't remember. Or did you build one? But the thing is, you guys should check out Scholarkey, and they're doing a Boeing version. So check out the interview. I interviewed them at Flight Sim Expo, and this was back in Providence. And Delt did the video. And by the way, as good a job as Johnny Mon and Bats did during Sim Gaming Expo, Delt, I mean, you did an incredible job with the camera workers. Delt's a professional. He's done this stuff is I don't want to say whole life, but a better part of your life. And did a great job. Anyway, we've got an interview with Scholarkey, and they're coming out with Boeing. I asked them about Boeing, because there's so much Airbus stuff, right? And it's great to see that WINWING has the PAP3 and the PCD stuff, which is the left and right EFIS, by the way. They have the PCD, which is for the 737 NG line, and then they got the M version, which is for the iFly Max 8. And we got a live stream where I highlighted that. I still need to do a product review, a full in-depth review. It's on my list. And so it's good to see WINWING get into that. And so I asked Scholarkey, it'd be nice to see Boeing in XP72. We had that discussion too with Thrustmaster. I think we were talking with Thrustmaster, and XP mentioned it. It's it'd be nice to see more vendors get more Boeing stuff. Well, anyway, lo and behold, WINWING's got a bunch of Boeing stuff out now, as you all know, and Scholarkey's working on the setup. Del, I don't remember if they talked about a TQ box for Boeing, but I think they were talking about that. And check out Scholarchy, friends, if you have money. If you don't, check out WinWing. But, yeah. Hey, Pringle is in the house, friends. Let's say hello to Pringle. Good to see you, Pringle. Welcome to live stream. Good to see you, man. How's it going? What's up, Pringles? Pringles. I love that name, by the way. I keep hearing the throttles cut back. And every time it does that, I think, oh, are we at top of descent? No. Not much at all? You been doing some flying? Pringles, I think you have your own Discord server, right? Well, welcome to the live stream. Good to see you. Comanche all the way. Oh, Kerbelet. Okay, so here's the thing. I remember... How many of you watched, what was it, Flight Sim Expo 2023? And it was in Houston. It was my first one I ever went to. And I couldn't wait, because it had been out, I don't know, how many years has it been out for? It was pre-COVID they were out, because I remember the first year I couldn't get there, that they were, you know, it was some other event, but it kind of morphed into Flight Sim Expo with Evan and that. And so, was it 2018 or 2017? Was it all the way back to 2016? I forget. But Flight Sim Expo started, and I was like, oh, I got to go to this. I got to go to this. And I'm like talking to my wife, honey, I got to go to this. You know, and it was before I was even streaming. Or before I even had the YouTube channel. And then, so I finally am like, got the WAF. You know what the WAF is, right, guys? Wife approval factor. I finally got the WAF from Mrs. Symphonic. And she's like, yeah. And then COVID hit. It's like, oh, son of a gun. I can't go. And I can't remember, did they cancel it or yeah, they canceled it that year, right? And then the following year, did they cancel it that year? I forget. I remember there was a year where they went all remote, so you could do like the virtual, you know, connect, and the price was less for registration. And so I did that, and that might have been 2021. And then I'd planned on going in 2022. Didn't make that. So 2023 was Houston, and that's where I met, for the first time, a lot of you. Like Deltgam was there. I got to meet... Old Golfer was there. Is Old Golfer still flying with us right now, by the way? He was in here. Aces was there. My brother was there. Johnny Mon. I can't remember if you were there. Were you there? I know Silver Killer was there. Anyway, there's a bunch of you I got to see for the first time. Rick, were you there? I can't remember. But anyway, we all got together. And... I remember when they were talking that one day when they were doing the product reviews, and they talked about the Comanche, the A2A Comanche. And it's like, oh yeah, the Comanche. That's a great plane. I totally agree. Totally agree with the Kerbelet. Comanche's great. 2021 was San Diego. No Expo in 2022. Okay, that's what it was. Oh, you didn't make that. That's right. Okay, so it was Vegas. See, the throttle just cut back. 2024. I sometimes wonder, is like the winds, did they just update and change? Because when it throttles down like that, it's kind of like, woo, what just happened? This is going to be interesting, friends, landing this one, the A321. I haven't landed this aircraft in the longest time. I'm finally kind of getting it, thanks to Captain Howdy giving me tips on landing the Airbus. I'm not afraid to admit it. I can do the Boeing pretty well, but the Airbus I'd suck for. But he gave me some tips, and I finally listened to him. Only took me I don't know how long. And I didn't do too bad with the 319 and the 320 last couple streams. We'll have to see how I do at the 321 and make sure I don't tail strike this thing. A320 simulation says my wife was pissed. I didn't bring her to FS Expo. Really? I was like, seriously, it's just going to be a bunch of aviation sim nerds. Oh God, isn't that the truth? That's a great thing about it, right? So she's coming next year in Minneapolis. That's a A320. That is like a hop, skip, and a jump for me. Like literally 3.5 hours I'll be there driving. I'll finally not have to freaking catch a flight. And Providence, oh my gosh. I had freaking 2 connecting flights to get there. It took me forever. Mini all the way, baby. Yes, Johnny. Mini all the way, brother. Absolutely. Let's see if I deserve a 4 out of 10. I don't know. We're going to have to see CP65. CP, I probably asked you this before. Where did you come up with the name CP6565? Like so many of you, some of them are obvious, like, okay, A320 simulations, I get that. Big fan of the A320. Does simming. That makes sense. Johnny Man I get, especially after visiting you, Johnny. I get that now. Pringles. I take it Pringles likes the Pringle potato chips, but that's a guess. Delt Gam I know, because Delt loves Delta Airlines. Any games. So I get that. I'm not sure what the 88 is, Delt, but I do get that. So some of these, some of your tags in YouTube, I can pick up and get, or within Flight Simulator. But sometimes I'm like, yeah, what did they come up with that name? And some of them are just downright freaking hilarious. Bopper probably likes the old music, I would guess. Oh, there you go. 88. Sorry, swallowed wrong. Aviate NZ. That makes sense. New Zealand. Boeing 777 is in the house. Boeing 777. There's another name I bet I can guess what you like. Why you came up with that? Even though I know. Loves the 777. Loves the Rolls Royce. Loves the dual engine startup, right, Boeing? Loves the dual startup. Says, what's up, Symphanatic? And chat just got up to come and join. Thank you, buddy. Appreciate you being here. Welcome to the live stream, buddy. Yes. But some of the names I don't get. I know my channel name's hard to figure out, right? Bopper, I come from the FPS community. I have a high headshot percentage. Ooh, that's where it's from. So, Bopper, did you respond when I was asking about Battlefield? Or no, were you responding that you played Battlefield 2? Sorry, my memory has a half-life of about 2.5 seconds. So, Bopper, you I take it you're playing Battlefield 6. We're all gonna have to we've done some Battlefield stuff, right? You don't have the game, but it looks fun. It's fun. It's I was talking about it earlier, as you probably heard me. It's not easy. If you're a Call of Duty player, start with domination. Otherwise, you're gonna get extremely frustrated. Boeing 777 asks, any chance for another long-haul flight before the end? Oh, yeah, we'll do it. We'll definitely do a long-haul flight, brother, before the end of the year. Absolutely. It'll happen. I still got to get the, Boris Soundworks? I got to get the sounds for the 777 still. Was Crimson and COD ranked and Ascendant in Valorant? Is that how you pronounce it? I've heard of the game, never played it. Nice. You're one of those guys that would I'd probably be cursing at while playing. Like I said, for those of you that are channel members, you'll see there's some streams, past streams of Call of Duty, some recent ones of Battlefield 6, and I there's a reason I only do those streams members only, because I can swear like a drunken sailor and I don't have to worry about it. and oh boy, do I. Matt Hawkins often is in the stream, and he joined, and I think I was almost making him pee his pants laughing at me because I was getting so upset. I get called a cheater. Sometimes it's funny, yeah. You know, I don't know if you mute your, if you mute the voice from others. And I know a lot of you do, because you don't want to hear a lot of them complaining or yelling. I kind of find it humorous. Except for the people that get way out of line. I don't have a lot of tolerance for that. But the some of them are hilarious when they get pissed off. I never yell at others if I'm getting killed left and right, because it's just like, well, they're just good. I just suck. what's the point of yelling at him and calling him a cheater? By the way, that's the other thing with Battlefield 6, Bopper, and the rest of you. The anti-cheat software, for those of you that have Windows 10 and Windows 11, you have to have Secure Boot enabled for Windows 10 and 11, or you cannot play the game. So if you're about to drop $70 on the game and you don't know how to, there's an easy way to check if your computer's already set for Secure Boot in Windows and UEFI, what it's called. There's an easy command to check it within Windows. But definitely check that before you buy Battlefield 6, before you drop $70. Because you don't want to end up with a situation that, like I fixed it for my son's computer last night, because you actually have to go in the BIOS and change some things. And if you have a legacy or master boot record, if that makes any sense to some of you that are into computers, you're going to have to convert it. You can convert it, but there's going to be some legwork, and you're going to need to know about computer stuff before you do it. If you don't know about computers and doing that stuff, and you go and buy Battlefield 6, you're going to be pissed off because it will not load. It will not launch. You can't even launch and play campaign mode because of the anti-cheat system that's forced. Oh, they did that for I didn't even realize that. For Black Ops 7? But they didn't have it for Black Ops 6, right? Because my son was playing Black Ops 6 and he never had the prompt. I didn't realize they did that for 7. And you know what? I think it's good. Because it can prevent those that root and cheat. So I think it's a good thing. But for those that have like a computer that was set up in legacy mode or has a master boot record and it doesn't use a new file system with Windows 10 or 11, you're going to be pissed. Secure boot is the future, absolutely. Yeah, you have to have the TPM 2.0 module. You might be able to get away with it with the 1.2. But if you have a system that's 6 years or newer, you should be fine. But that'd be my warning to you guys that are getting Battlefield 6. Just check and make sure you have Secure Boot enabled and you're on UEFI on Windows 10 or 11. Like I said, there's an easy Windows command. You can do it. Just Google it. And because I don't remember what it is. It's like MS Info 32 or something like that. That you just run from a command line. And it'll tell you. There's like a whole list there, and you can look for Secure Boot. It will say yes or no, and it'll say Windows mode, and it'll say UEFI or not. And yeah, because if you don't have that, you're not getting into the game. And they don't warn you when you go to buy it, which they should. They should say, hey, you got to make sure before you purchase it. They should say, hey, you got to make sure you got Secure Boot. But there's no comment on it. You buy it and then you go to launch it and it'll fail on you and drop you out of the game and give you an error message. Caveat emptor, friends. Caveat emptor. If you know what that means. Let the buyer beware. Don't tell me there's a runway change. I'm chilling out with you guys. I'm just sitting here. I'm like drinking my orange whip, relaxing, and I'm actually focused on all your chat. I think this is the benefit of me like not being on my webcam, because I don't feel like I have to talk to you with my webcam that's at a different angle than my I've got a monitor that is in portrait mode specifically for just chat. That's all I've got is all of you chatting. It's the monitor that is dedicated. It's like a 27-inch monitor in portrait mode. And all I have it do is show me your chat messages. That's it. So I can just sit back and relax and just like, while we're doing this longer flight, read your chat. You gotta admit, CP65, I've been better about responding to your chats right now, right? I'm not distracted. You're down at 36, right? Let me check. It's 1 knot. I'm not changing everything for 1 knot. I can handle a 1 knot tailwind. I'm landing 1.8 left, CP. You know, I would change if it was like 3+ knots, but anything under 3 knots is light and variable, and it's at 1 knot. I'm looking right now at Navigraph, and right now it's runway 18 left has a 1 knot tailwind. I'm being lazy, I know. If you guys want to land on 3-6 right, go for it. Bats will watch you land. I'm being lazy. I'm just going to land on 18 left. So sue me, or don't sue me. Boeing 777 says, sympathetic. Also, I've heard that on the Rolls-Royce with the Boris sound pack, due to the buzzsaw phase out on Max Toga, we'll need to do a D-rate, but we do a fixed D-rate with no temp for best sound. Huh. SimBrief gave you 3.6, which it should. Actually, you know, a funny thing about that, Bats, before we took off, you got to be careful on SimBrief because it can be wrong. Because it gave me 3.6 right as well, and I'm like, wait a minute. So I typically now, because it's half the time it can be wrong, I look at Navigraph and I look at the current METAR. I'll Google the current METAR for the airport and destination. And a lot of times it won't be right. SimBrief won't be right. So I don't know where SimBrief gets its data because it still had like a 2 or 3 knot headwind on 18 left when we took off. That was right before the stream. And right now showing it on, well, now it's up to 2 knots. But I'm still not going to change it. If it bumps up to like 4 or 5 knots, I might consider it. Boeing 777 says Max Toga was necessary back then when we had the default PMDG sounds. Yeah. Don't get me started with PMDG again. They're kind of on my shit list. Like I said, I like their products. I just don't dig their PR or their cost model. I'll leave it at that before I get back up on my freaking soapbox. Yep, I promise I won't. Deal. Let's go over to the right wing. One of you asked, do they have passengers? And unfortunately, they aren't. There aren't passengers, but actually, who asked about GSX? If you have GSX, you'll actually see passengers walking into the cabin. And that's kind of a cool deal. Max tailwind is 10 knots. Thank you, A320. That's helpful. Hey, this is for you, buddy. There you go. You get the first officer emoji for that. That's to you, man. We lost our tunes. Shahab, that was you. Oh, yeah. Get GSX, man. You're not going to be disappointed. You're still in 2020, so remind me, why are you not in 2024 yet? It's not a criticism. It's just a question. Genuine question, buddy. Boeing 777 says, I'd imagine on our next long haul, we do some Singapore Airlines ops in the 777-200ER. I could get down with that. Oh, we got a real captain in real life? Oh, I did not realize that, A320. That's cool. Do you actually fly the Airbus, or are you a GA pilot like me? I just have my PPL. Which is cool. I mean, those of you that get the PPL, I mean, that's a definite accomplishment. Not like an ATP or anything like that, but nonetheless an accomplishment, right? That's cool, man. I didn't realize you're a real captain. That's awesome, man. A320, 321 captain? How about that, friends? Thanks for mentioning that. Well, you definitely deserve the first officer emoji. I don't have a captain one. We can pretend it's a captain, I guess. That's awesome, man. Well, welcome to the stream, and glad to have you here. You've been here before, though, right? I mean, obviously you subscribe to the channel because you're chatting. That's awesome, man. That's the other thing I love about streaming and doing the channel stuff is because I get to meet all of you of different walks of life. Real pilots, sim pilots, real ATP pilots. It's awesome, man. Boeing 777 says, I know Singapore Airlines uses the 777-300, but they had the 200ER back then, yeah. I say yeah like I know, but I'll go with that. I have no idea. I'll just say yeah because I'll fake like I knew that Singapore had that. Full disclosure. All right, we got to enter our destination data, so let's go ahead and do that. I'll go ahead and turn the cameras back on here for this. So we'll go back to our different scene overlay here, and as you can see, we've got all this stuff set up, but I'm going to go back to the MCDU here. So it says enter destination data, so we're going to simply drop down here to our MCDU. I'm going to clear that out. We're going to go to performance, and then we're going to go to next phase. Next phase. Oh, I got a story for you, A320 simulations that happened to me in Flight Sim Expo in Vegas. I got to tell you about that when I was flying the 777 for the first time. QNH. Let's drop up over here, and that's why I wanted to have this set up. So our we've got altimeter is 29903, so we're going to drop back over here. We're going to enter 29.93 into our scratch pad, hit LSK1, get the QNH air. Temperature, we're going to go over to the left. And our temperature right now, we look at that METAR is 22 degrees Celsius. So we're going to drop back over here, enter 22 to our scratch pad, hit LSK2, get that temp in. We're going to go back over to magnetic winds. And so here it's at 260 at 8 knots. So see, there you go, Bats. 180 is still the right way to go, according to this. This is probably, I don't know where this is. This is getting it from SimBrief, I think. I'm not even sure. I think it's getting it from SimBrief. 260 at 8 knots. So we're going to drop back down here in our scratch pad, hit 260/8 LSK3. And there we have it. Now what I like is I go over to the right here, go back to the next phase here. I'm just going to keep this up on my right MCDU so I can reference this flaps at 150. And so I'm going to leave that up, although I'm going to go back over here and hit flight plan. And there you have it, friends. So we're ready to rock and roll with our descent. Oh, speaking of which, let's look. We're doing the RNAV-Y. So I'm going to go over to my charts, bring up the RNAV for the runway here. Forgot to select my approach. RNAV-Y, and we're 18 left. There it is. Was it Cavi? I don't remember it was Cavi. Was it Cavi? I don't remember that. Yeah, it was. Okay, Cavi. So we got 2 knots tailwind, and A320 let us know, and a real pilot for the A320, a 10 knot is maximum tailwind. So we'll be fine. And I'm going to pull up, let's see what our RNAV for runway 18 left is. So we're going to step down, looks like 6,000 at Cavi, 5,000 at Snack, 4,000 at Gilgee, and 2,400 is our intercept. So I'm going to go ahead and do 2,400. So let's go ahead and take a look at our FCU. So I'm going to go over here, and we're going to dial in. I'm just going to go ahead and do that. And I do like the fact that I can just drop this down. This goes by thousands. And then with the WINWING, we can snap this back to hundreds and then just go up to 2,400. So we're set for that intercept. I'm going to put 2,400. Of course, our MCDU and our flight management computer is going to keep this airplane stepping down automatically. Don't forget landing data, but for 18 left, you're probably going to need auto brake medium. Thank you, sir. Yes, thank you. So let's go ahead and set that right now to medium. Oop, medium. And our minimums. What are our minimums here? We've got looks like 1,000 feet minimums for our decision height, which will be decision altitude is 1,002 feet and 254 feet above sea level, or above ground level. Felix Panetta is in the house. Felix, Felix, how you doing, man? The song is Phoenix, so I called you Phoenix. Shahab says Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 was also buggy back then. Yeah, it was. I mean, Sim Update 4 is coming soon. We got Sim Update 3 right now. I'm running the full production version of Sim Update 3. Have you had the TCA Boeing yoke twitching? So right now, no, I haven't, but I'm actually using the Ursa. We're doing the full WINWING setup. So if you look at the top left window here, here's the, it's an awesome flight stick. I've got the mount from WINWING, and so I'm using that. So I'm not using the TCA Boeing yoke right now, buddy. Doing the full WINWING setup, buddy. And I really need to go to the bathroom, but I gotta wait till our top of descent so I don't miss it. It's one thing I like about the Boeing, although you can do it, actually A320's here, I could probably ask them. You can set it so it automatically descends without having to punch the altitude knob, right? Which is great for me, because I'm always distracted watching all of you in chat, and then half the time or more, I miss top of descent when I'm flying the Airbus, but like the Boeing, I already set my intercept altitude, and so it just starts descending when it needs to. I don't have to make sure I push the button forward when I'm like within 5 miles of the waypoint or the top of descent waypoint. Yeah, me to dang Ed. You will need to manage the descent. Yeah, okay. So, because what we have to do is once we get close to it, so this little white arrow here is showing us when we're going to hit that top of descent. This, of course, is 20 nautical miles, and I can use the FCU, or the EFIS, rather. I can dial this different, which I love. I can turn that in to 10, to 20, to 40, to 80, to 160, and this thing even goes out to 320. So I'm going to put it to 20 right now, and you can see that top of descent arrow coming in. So when it gets right where about that world waypoint is, we're going to push the altitude knob in, and it'll start our descent. Like A320 said, you'll need to push a button. Hey, since Captain Howdy's gone, A320. So I am a Boeing guy, so I fly a lot of Boeing, like the 737NG and the 777. Can't wait for the 757 to come out for Bluebird simulations like I talked about before. But I assume this plane's going to be the same. You want to have auto throttle all in, and then about, 30 feet from touchdown, when we retard the aircraft, I want to go ahead and pull the throttle out. That's been my problem. I'd always pull the throttle out way too early because I'm used to the Boeing. Yeah, 74 as well. But see, we have the 747 default aircraft. I'm not holding my breath for the PMDG 747 Boeing 777. I'm sorry. If they can't get the 737 NG that's already made into although they're building it, they say they're building it from the ground up to be all the walk around stuff in 2024, and that's commendable. That's cool. But I'm not holding my breath, fellas, for the 7.4 from PMDG. Not. I will go. I'll make a bold statement, and I will guess that the 7.4 isn't going to come out at the earliest. Earliest. Did I say earliest? until next year this time, at the earliest. And if they have the 7.4 out by this time next year, I'll be amazed. $730 when it says complete, yeah. Johnny Mon says, A320 simulations, I usually manage my descent about 10 to 20 miles before. That's still acceptable, yeah. And A320 said, yes, Johnny, you can. But you don't get much of an advantage unless you're doing it so you don't forget, yeah. All right, we're close. Let's go ahead. If we look down here, we're essentially right there. So I'm going to push the button forward. We get the little orange dot right here because I just hit it. I didn't show you. But now you can see the throttle's coming out. The engines are spooling down. And you can see our vertical speed is at 1,100 and decreasing. And we want this green dot to be right in line here. That means we're right within our descent profile. You can see it's adjusting. And then here's our speed tape where we want that magenta triangle to be right there with the yellow triangle. And then we know we're feeling pretty groovy with that. So we're descending right now. This 2,900 feet per minute. And that green dot is staying right in line. And we're going a little fast. The nice thing is our MCDU, when we need to put our spoilers in and have some drag to slow down, it'll actually tell us. Or you can just say, oh, well, I'm going about 10 knots too fast. I need to add drag. And sometimes I'll do that even without the MCDU telling me I need to. But I like to let the aircraft stabilize itself because it does a pretty good job of it. What a beautiful plane. Gosh, Phoenix. A320, what do you think of the Phoenix versions of the 319, 320, and 321? Since you're a real Airbus pilot, do you feel like the flight model... I've like always said, I think X-Plane actually has a little bit better feel for flight modeling. Being a real pilot myself... But I'm gotta say, Microsoft Flight Simulator, especially with some of the more well-developed third-party software like Phoenix and others, like Black Square, and we talked about A2A. I think that it's getting closer. But I'm curious on your thoughts, given you're an actual pilot and fly the Airbus for a living. How close is it to the real thing in terms of the flight model? Boeing 777 asks, Symphonic, is Singapore to Tokyo a good route for our next long haul? It's a 6-hour flight. That could work. That could work. Put it in the flight suggestions, buddy. I know you've done that before in our Discord server, friends. We have a flight suggestions channel. And if I pick your route like I did with Evo last time when we did the GA flight. It was a great flight. And... I picked that flight, and I'll do a shout-out to you guys if I pick your flight, your route. Wow, I can't believe it's almost 10:30 already. All right, now that we're beginning our descent here, or have begun our descent, I've got to go to do a bio break, and so I'll be right back in just a couple minutes, okay? Be right back. I'm not even going to start the timer. Okay, it took a little extra time there. Can anyone guess in chat why it took a little extra time? And no, it wasn't to go number 2. By the way, one of the things we're highlighting right now, of course, is what I've got up on the screen right now. That is the WINWING A320, or rather the Ursa Minor throttle quadrant, and along with the Pack 32. And it's amazing. Amazing. Like I said, 9.8 out of 10, friends. 9.8 out of 10. Close to perfect. And for the price, it damn near should be 10 out of 10, honestly. Johnny, you've got that right, buddy. You win a silver dollar. I had to grab it. Yep, and so did you, Bats. I had to get an orange whip. You both got it. Oliver Garrett's in the house, friends. Oliver, how's it going, buddy? Guess who the Dodgers are going against? Can you guys guess? Uh-oh, we got a baseball fan in the house, friends. Mr. Baseball. Okay, I can't guess. Who is it? Oliver, who is it? Johnny Mon says Blue Jays, and Bats got it. Bluebirds. Cheers. A320 Simulation says, the only thing I would like to see Fenix do is give us more engine options. There is actually a pretty big difference between those CEO engines and the Neos, yeah. But the flight model, you think that's okay? Flight model's all right? I do like the fact that, like, you can definitely tell there's a difference in the flight modeling between the 319, 320, and the 321. No doubt. Daniel says Yankees. Oliver's a Toronto Blue Jays fan. Bats is yawning. Bats is yawning. Oh, Bats, you've been posting in Discord about, the MLB stuff. You know, if I had to pick a team, it would be Johnny, it'd be the Cubs. Right? Johnny, you're a Cubs fan, not a White Sox fan, right? I probably should check and see how we're doing on our descent profile here. Looking good, and we need to change our standard pressure, so let's go ahead and do that. So let's check it. So right now we're on standard, and you saw it flashing. So right now the METAR, maybe, I don't know if this refreshes it. No. We are at 29903. So what we're going to do is we're going to push this button. I got my boom in the way. So we're going to go 29903. And I'm going to do the same on the first officer EFIS, which would be the right EFIS from WINWING. So we're going to go over here. We're going to do the same thing, push the button in, and then dial that into 29903. You can't see that, but trust me, it's at 29903. Something we don't want to forget. I mean, a lot of you have asked me this before. Sam, what do you like flying better? You like flying the Fenix, or you like flying the Boeing, the PMDG Boeing, or the iFly Max 8? Man, I gotta tell y'all. Okay, so as many of you know, I've got the PFP3, the PAP3, the PFP panels for WINWING, for the flight management computer, the FMC. And I've got the PCDs for the 737N and the M, which is the NG line and the Max line. You can work those together. Still a bug in iFly Max 8, by the way, using those together. I've talked about that. I won't get into that in this stream. But I don't know. Overall, now that I've got, I'm going to use the Ursa Minor throttle from WINWING for the Boeing, and I'm going to take out that D10. That D10 switch, I think, is a nice design. And I'm going to, we're going to do a flight in the 777. Don't worry, Boeing 777. We're going to do a 777 flight before we do the long-haul flight, before the year end, right?
We'll get there. Wow, we are at 58 likes. Thank you, friends. We are almost at 60. If you haven't hit the like button, get us to 60, would you? That's amazing. Thank you all so much for that support. I do really appreciate it. It does help the channel, and it helps us get out there and find more friends to bring into our community. So definitely appreciate it. Yep, we'll need another 777 flight before our long haul because we need to practice. I agree. Evo said landing was Oliver Garrett says, I am a Los Angeles Lakers fan, but my team is a joke. We lost against the Golden State Warriors. Need to practice. There you go. Or, no, I'm sorry. Geez, my eyes just went to a different line. We lost against the Golden State Warriors yesterday. See, that's the other thing. I don't keep up with NBA and I don't keep up with MLB. I'm a big NFL fan. Love college football and college basketball and pro football. But when it comes to MLB and NBA, I'm sorry, Oliver, I just don't get into it as much. Although I've gone to several, I don't think I've ever been to an NBA game, to be honest. I've been to several Cubs games. Don't hate me, friends. Popper says, Warriors local, knew the Lakers were kind of bad, but wow. You know, when it comes down to it, sports just stress me the hell out. Oh, we got to enter. We got to do the spoilers here. So I'm going to go ahead and pull the spoiler lever out. Well, we probably don't need to do that. We're slowing down. Never mind. We're good. I see a lot of you up there. I see Bats, Delgam 88, Captain Ahoy. Nice. When did you drop in here, Captain Ahoy? San Antonio Spurs myself, says 88NZ. 88NZ, New Zealand. I assume that represents New Zealand, NZ. I think you've told us that before. You're from New Zealand. Correct me if I'm wrong. Awesome. Gosh, you know, if there's a country in this on this spinning rock, AB8NZ, man, I have to say New Zealand is like one of the, I mean, there's a lot of beautiful countries on this planet, but New Zealand looks amazing from what I've seen in pictures and flying in simulator, because obviously flying in the simulator gives a true representation, right? Not really, but all right, friends, we're below 10,000 feet, so what that means is we got to go ahead and set our lights. So I'm going to go ahead and you can't see. Well, let's go ahead and show the panel. And here is the Rowsfire A107. So I'm going to go ahead and turn on my landing lights. Going to turn on my wing light. Going to turn on my nose light. So it's just ready. And runway turn-off lights will wait. As you can see, we got the whole panel here. And if you missed that part, when we're done, go back to the beginning of the stream. I go over all of it. Or close to all of it. Probably not all of it, but close to all of it. We'll get that focused right there on the good, beautiful WINWING A321 Ursa Minor. God, I love this thing. Yeah, we can continue to slow down here at 6,000. Like our Streamlabs bot says, we must land and not crash. We must land and not crash. We'll see, 777. I'm going to try. Going to try to grease it. I don't know. I doubt it. How many of you were here besides Oz Flight Simulator, XP72, and Jeff Fabiano when I freaking had to do a go around in the Boeing and I didn't disable? This was embarrassing, A320, by the way. I did a go around and I thought I had disabled the auto throttle and I didn't, and I pulled the I did full throttle on the throttle levers. And meanwhile, the auto throttle was still at a low speed, and so the levers kept pulling back. Meanwhile, while I was doing a go around, I pulled the gear up, and I pulled the flaps up. Guess what happened? Embarrassing. Oh, there you go. So just how we do it at 10,000. Yeah, I missed that 10,000. 10,000 feet, we turn on the landing lights, cycle the seatbelt sign. Oh, actually, you know what? Good point. I forgot to hit the seatbelt. There we go. Evo says crash. Thank you for that, A320. Wow, have an actual... So, by the way, A320, really quick, because I got to start focusing on this landing. When I was at Flight Sim Expo, I actually had a... So it was when PMDG just released their 777. And so we had early release access. And so I'm flying it at Flight Sim Expo with a bunch of people around me. And guess who's sitting right next to me? Right next to me. While I'm live streaming with all of you. An actual 777 pilot. So not only was it the first time I was flying the 777, it was helpful but stressful at the same time. But he was actually pretty cool.
Laptop inside.
He wasn't like critical, you know. He was helping me out. I think I stressed myself out more than anything. Yeah.
Please help us by hand.
I think he flew for like, what was it, DHL or something? I don't know. He's a cargo pilot. All right, we're going to go stereo cockpit. I'm going to kick off the tunes. Turn up the volume. Is that Freedom Rock? Well, turn it up, man. Sorry about that. Delta uses the A-gates. Okay, I guess I can turn on the cameras. Let's go ahead and turn on the WINWING camera, and I'll get my face cam on. So if I F this up, you can all see me panic and scream. Ah! Or something like that. I'm going to go ahead and slow up to 210. Go ahead and add a notch of flaps. We'll go 10. LS landing system. $200. I'm going to go ahead and add spoilers. Get this bird to slow down a little bit. Of course, we can slow it down by putting down the landing gear, which we'll go ahead and do right now. I love the fact that this WINWING stuff all rumbles. Like my Ursa stick, even the spoiler arm and the throttles are all rumbling. Gear down. Gear down, check. 3 down, green. We're looking at about 150. A320 says in the 321 you can go down or slow down. You won't do both. Yeah. Yep. Now, on an RNAV approach, you can do the approach switch, right? You can do the approach button, but I don't think it's necessary though either, is it? More for the ILS, if I'm not mistaken. A320, do you guys do the approach button when you're on an RNAV approach or not in the A321? CP says, I have a feeling your approach is going to be too fast, probably.
2,500.
2,500. No, you need approach button. All right, let me go ahead and hit that. All right, another notch of flaps. Let's go ahead and engage that. Flaps 2. By the way, Maple's no longer here, but A320, just so you know, he's always about flaps 40, especially in the Airbus, which makes absolutely no sense, I know, because I'm just giving him grief. All right, let me slow down. I also got to enable the spoiler. You're right, I am way fast. We'll slow this bird down. There we go. I need to change my draw settings because it's like, oh, I'm not even seeing the runway yet. All right, flaps full. Let's go flaps full. Kipper slowing down here, and I'm going to take the splitters out and arm. All right, here we go. My airplane. Flaps 40, bruh. Daniel says, LOL.
1,000.
1,000. I see the runway too. Makes me feel all funny inside. Sorry about that. What a pretty plane. Let's get it. There you go, Boeing 777. Peace and chicken grease. There you go. CP65 says, wow. He always says that when I do my little shenanigans. Captain Red Sky made him laugh. You come here a lot in real life? Nice. Good God, what's this rocking stuff going? Do I have asymmetric thrust going on? What's going on? Little crosswind action? Can't be with 2 knots. Or 6 knots. There's a 6 knots, 2 knot tailwind. All right, here we go. God, I'm scared. There we go. Three six right, bro.
100. Thirty, 20, retard.
Come on, baby.
5.
Reversers. Jeez. Oh, get freaking nose down the runway. There we go. 8 knots. All right, we made it. Hey, I've done worse, okay, guys? I've done worse. 5 out of 10? That wasn't that bad, was it? Maybe it was. 5 out of 10? I didn't even score a 7 out of 10? I need a spew bag. All right, well, we're down safe. Planes in one piece, see? All right, see, this is what I like. I can now take my landing lights off, runway turn-off light on. I can go to taxi and pay attention to where I'm going. Wing light can come off. Definitely not in the landing zone, that was for sure. I overflew that by a damn sight. But we're down. Well, welcome to Wichita. You guys do you know what movie reference that is, by the way? My right tire hit first. Yeah, it's because of the crosswind. I had to get my my wing down properly there. Thanks for a great afternoon, Symphonag. Time to go. Hey, AV8NZ, everybody give a shout out to AV8NZ. Thanks for joining us, brother. You still make it look easy. Well, thanks, Johnny. I try, brother. I try. All right, we're going to go ahead and stop. I'm going to go ahead and put the parking brake on. Let's get the master switch on for the APU. Get that started up. 1, 2, 3, start. You can see up here, I've got the blue lights on. And let's watch our... did everybody else already land?
No, not everybody else has landed, have they? Some landing 3-6 right, some landing 1-8. Did everybody land already? Am I the last? A320 says, I just landed in Philadelphia last week. 30-knot crosswind, rolled on one tire for a bit. Yeah, see? You got that crosswind. You got to do it, right, A320? Everybody else has landed. So now I got to ask, Bats, who won the landing challenge? Evo for the win! Let's give it up to Evo! Evo, congratulations! Evo wins it! Now I gotta get it in the books. Hold on. In the books it goes. Evo, congratulations, Evo, on that landing challenge win. I got you in the books, Evo. Evo is in the books, friends. Awesome. All right, screw it. I'm going the wrong way, obviously. So let me get taxied over. If I can break out. What in the hell is this? Look at this. Boing, oing, oing, oing. What the hell? Now keep in mind, this scenery is from FSDreamTeam, and it is the 2020 version. Let's go ahead and pull the flaps up. Let's get over with our friends. Evo, again, congratulations. It was ugly, but I stuck it. Nice, Evo. And we're going to go back down. Here we go. And drop. Boom. Ooh. Nose wheel still intact. That's good. Track IR still works. How many of you have the Track IR? Tashi says, so many landing sim and you still make it look traumatic. That's what I do. You know, I rarely fly in between these live streams. All right. Believe it or not, this is true. The occasional times that I do fly just by myself and I'm not live streaming, I'm not distracted by everything going on in chat and trying to make sure I'm flipping cameras to the different controls. It does make a difference. It really does. I have a lot better approaches and landings when I'm just flying by myself, but I suppose that's why they have first officers in that to help with the cockpit resource management, CRM, right? It's a real thing. But I've got my first officer right here. Along with all of you, of course. Let's give a shout out to our friend A320 Simulations for the help tonight. Good to have a real Airbus pilot, because God knows I'm not. That's obvious. Oh, look at that. Is that what plane is that over there? I'm gonna set a C-17, but that's not it. Yeah, just like Maple. Hey, you know what though, Tashi? At least I don't stop in the middle of the runway and make people crash. Dude, I am getting so much mileage out of that American Truck Simulator night. And you know what? Tashi, honestly, I know I give you shit. I would have it no other way. That was epic, dude. The fact that you stopped on the bridge and I crashed into you and went over the edge, which I didn't even think was possible. I didn't even know that you could do that in American Truck Simulator, and it happened. If you wouldn't have done that, it would not have been as great of a stream as it was. That was awesome. Marion Harris dropping the orange whips, along with Johnny Mon, Captain Red Sky with the STD and orange whips. As we get ourselves over here, we are now on, we've got our APU all set up. So that's good. Boeing 777 says, all right, Symphonic in chat, nice being in your stream. We'll catch you in another one. Blue skies to you. Everybody say good night to our good friend Boeing 777. We will get a couple flights in the 777, Boeing. Don't you worry, son. We'll get it in. We'll get a long haul flight in. We'll get a shorter flight in. And we got Tashi Draco, Evil Eagle Sky winning that landing challenge. Young Bopper. Bats is behind us. There he is. Who's over there? I can't see their gamer tag yet. Blue skies, buddy. Look at this American Airlines livery. Tashi, are you flying? Is that the A300? What are you flying? You got that old American Airlines livery. Looks pretty saucy. I'm gonna park right here because it's convenient. Thanks, Young Bopper, for leaving this one open for me. Again, thank you, as the livery says, friends. Appreciate it. Hopefully I don't hit my wing against that Delta right next to us here. Where's my ground crew? All right, we'll stop right here. Parking brake enabled. Taxi light can come off. Runway turn off light off. Taxi light off. Let's go ahead and kill the engine. So we're going to go down here. And this is one of my favorite parts. We're going to go ahead and kill the engines. And I love how the electric and the systems all switch over. Just like in real life, no ground crew. All right, friends. Well, I want to say again, thank you guys so much for being a part of this channel. Like I said, I'm only the face, but you're all the channel, and it is our channel, and I do appreciate you all being here. Shout out to my moderators, and appreciate you, Bats, Johnny Mon, Tashi Draco, and the rest. And again, appreciate all of the regulars, Captain Red Sky, Marion Harris. Again, thank you for that gifted membership. And thank you. Who was it that did the membership while we were streaming? Travel to Caribbean. Membership for 2 months. And AV8NZ, thank you for that membership, buddy. Appreciate that. Johnny Man says, great stream. Thank you. Captain Red Sky, thank you. And as I always do, Evo and the rest, Boeing 777. Ernie, I missed you, Ernie. Welcome to the live stream. Bopper, thank you. Take care. By the way, let me do the top fans tonight. In the top 10, as we always do. I don't know why I do this other than now YouTube has it, so I might as well. Evil Eagle Sky not only winning that landing challenge, coming in at number 1 of the top fans. Hey, congratulations on that, Evo, along with the winning landing challenge. Number 2 is our good friend Bats. Bats, thanks for judging the landing challenges and let me know Evo won it. CP6565, I'll go ahead and give a shout out to you, even though you gave me a 5 out of that landing, which was probably well deserved. Appreciate that, CP. Coming in at number 4, the real Airbus pilot. It is A320 Simulations. Let's give it up to A320 for helping us out tonight, helping me out. In number 4, number 5 coming in. It's Captain Red Sky. Captain Red Sky, appreciate you, man. Thank you for being here. Coming in at number 5, Captain Red Sky. Captain, and at number 6, we've got AV8 New Zealand in the house, friends. AV8NZ at number 6. Number 7, he precedes himself in his reputation. It's Johnny Mon 212. Johnny Mon, hell of a guy, by the way. Thank you, Johnny. Hey, number 8, it is Deltcam 88 in the house. Del, appreciate it, man. And friends, at number 9, we have our very own Tashi Draco. Tashi, thank you, sir. And last but not least, coming in at number 10, we have Daniel Stewart, friends. Those are our top 10 for tonight. Silver Killer, you came in at number 11. You're that close, buddy. Appreciate you being here as well. And all the rest of you, Test Pilot, Bopper, Marion, and Kerbelet, and all the rest of you. Thank you so much. I know I didn't call all of you on you, but I try as best as I can. My voice is actually kind of falling apart. I did a lot of talking tonight. But it's been such a blast. Friends, watch for Saturday night live stream. I do have a family thing. My daughter's coming back from college. I do still plan on doing Saturday night, but I got to kind of play it by ear because we have family. She's going to be here for the weekend. I might not be able to do Saturday night. If I can't do Saturday night, might do Sunday instead. But I will definitely keep you all posted in YouTube and in Discord, so do make sure you watch for that. Until next time, friends, stay safe, take care. Thanks for joining. Have the great rest of your week. And, of course, blue skies. We'll see you soon, friends. Peace out. This is SimFanatic with the SimFan family. That's all of you, and I will see you soon this weekend, hopefully. Good night, friends. Take care. Enjoy the rest of your week. Good night.
Just like the street lights lit this town, like a fire in a blaze, gotta burn it down. Can't be afraid to leave this out. We got this far, don't know how. I see danger in your eyes. They know we'll burn down the night. Coming just like the sunrise. You know that we're gonna let it rain. Tonight, we're gonna let it rain. Tonight, we're gonna let it rain. Just like the sunrise, we're gonna let it rain. Just like a spark that's breaking out. Can't make a stop, can't turn back now.